to wrap it up for the close.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks. Welcome into the close. Couple hours to go here on a Wednesday afternoon that's turning into another pretty negative look here. Yeah, we're watching natural gas down significantly on that report of that explosion in the Freeport LNG facility in Texas. So no other real developments from that yet, but we'll watch some of the energy stocks. But again, it's natural gas. It's not crude oil that will be affected. You can see. Yeah, big move here. Crude for the, I don't know, 10th day out of the last 15 or so to the upside. Once again, 3%. 124 for crude oil. 1% here for the S&P, 0.8, 0.6 there for the NASDAQ, back to the downside. Crypto's under pressure as well. Pretty red board to have a look at here. It continues to get more and more red, in fact, as the afternoon goes on. Altria still 7% to the downside. We talked about that earlier on a downgrade today. Not much in the way of positivity around the entire thing here. Biogen popped up early on an upgrade today. Moderna's there as well. We mentioned Moderna's Omicron-specific vaccine booster coming out on the positive side with some data. Over here, both WIN and LVS gaining off of the China reopen news today. Again, Chinese officials coming out saying that they're proceeding with reopening plans. But look at the cruise lines here. I wanted to mention 4.5, 5, and 4.5 for RCL, CCL, and NCLH. Etsy to the upside, KMX to the upside. Everything else, though, pretty ugly right across the board. Let's flip over and have a look at, if it'll load, the NASDAQ for you, because it is some of the tech stocks, unfortunately, still back to the downside for the NASDAQ, taking its time here. Under pressure, though. We'll talk a little bit about some EV stocks because they have been in play today. Tesla, obviously, the biggest one, but China stocks, pretty impressive right across the board so far today. If you remember, again, it just comes back to the COVID angle, reopening. They also said, though, they're actively seeking foreign investment. So Alibaba with a huge move. I mean, DD Global up on that EV headline as well. So we'll talk about all of those coming up. But hi, guys. Hope your afternoon is going well. So much to discuss as we head into the final couple of hours here, including CPI. Because remember, Friday morning, 8:30, we'll get the latest reading on inflation. Until then, markets remain kind of stuck in this range. We're going to get into what we were talking about in the pre-market, do a little bit of a review, once again, of trades that were available to you, including one from Sean is here today. He's going to lead the way.
Look, you start the day, hey guys, what's up, by the way? You start the day with the sticky note, with the watch list, but then things happen. Roku today, though, was on both of those. The watch list, we talked about an internal memo from Business Insider was leaked from Business Insider, an internal memo that apparently Netflix looking to take out Roku, or at least some kind of partnership, possibly a buyout, whatever. The reason why it's interesting to me is if you look here on the Roku chart, this is only a 20-minute chart, but Roku was just down to $86. We're talking about last week. And then yesterday, a couple bumps up here 2 days ago. Then yesterday, we made it all the way to 102. And now today, we have some interesting talk here one more time on Roku. So again, what was the news? Netflix apparently interested in taking a stake, or we don't really know the story. But the interesting part about it is you have to dig down a little deep and try to find some levels. As you're going to notice here in the morning, because it's so choppy, here's yesterday's close, right? 93. Rumor comes out, we instantly settle around 100. 100 at very key levels. So instantly I'm thinking, okay, if we're going to go long, probably in this 100 area. But look how choppy this is. That high is about 101.50. That low down here, 97. So I feel like in the pre-market, we didn't really get a great feel for where this stock was. And normally I'm bidding down here near these bottoms. But as you can see, when the market opens up, we actually tested that pre-market bottom. That would have been a great fill to take. The only reason why I'm not there is because it's simply just a rumor. We had no idea if that was going to come out to be true. So if I sit down here with however many shares, it doesn't matter, and it comes down and all of a sudden the story comes out, maybe it's false, then you're going to retrace all the way back to 93. And honestly, we didn't want to have that fire, that heat on us on the open. So what we wind up doing is just calm down and wait for a key level to break. So, hey, if the story's true, you're going to have to pay probably 20 to 30% premium at least right now for Roku. I mean, Roku's high is in the hundreds of dollars, multiple hundreds of dollars, 400, I believe, something like that. So here you go. You're down at $100. Are they going to get bought out? We'll see. But the thing is, yesterday and in the pre-market, we had a high, and you could see yesterday as well. There's a high coming in yesterday at about, actually, yesterday in the afternoon, around that same kind of level, 102. So that was a level that we looked at. So when 102 came through, the very first time it was breached, we just went long, and that didn't actually happen until just after 10 o'clock. So bang, went all the way to the upside. That was a great trade. Instantly out, like 102.50, 103. That top is 104 right there. Then try to let it settle down a bit, right? And what happens is, right when we went off the air, Brendan reported that, hey, there was a CNBC report that this is not true. So I was like, we let this thing fall all the way back in, and where did we take it? It's hard to see. I should have took it off, but we let it make a bottom, and it actually bottoms at 101. So once we find that bottom tick down to 101, then it was like, okay, let's take that, and that's a 101.30. So as soon as it bottomed at 101, I knew I had my out. So I was going to go whatever long it was. I knew that I had to have a bottom of 30 or 40 cents. So there it is right there. My stop goes in right here at 101. Never gets breached. Then all of a sudden, right up to the upside, that's a 102.50. So we're instantly in the money, $1.20, $1.30. Actually, it was 102.40. Then bang, as if that report never even mattered, all the way back up. And why did we stick our order there? Because it was at the high of the day. So I was like, you know what? We'll go long here. We already just cashed out 4 times our risk to reward on that trade. Let's see if we can make this a real banger. Blows up to that upside, and we get out at like at 105.20, whatever the high of the day was at that point. So we get out there, and that's it for Roku. Now you're seeing it kind of dance around. Look what's still holding out, just as a note. Sometimes you pick levels that just make sense, right? There's the 102 in the pre-market. We had it yesterday as well. And then you can see, even when it comes back down in, it still respects that. It goes down to 101.50, but now you have VIEW up there, you have the 50 period. It looks like Roku to the upside. I mean, who knows? We know that ARK is involved with Roku. Maybe there's some more buys coming from this side of things on that. So I think Roku still has much more to go on the upside. If you look here at the 20-minute, I mean, a nice little bar-coded area between like 85 and 95 or so. That broke yesterday as if nobody knew something. Then all of a sudden, some nice movement today up to that 106. We can blow the charts up a little bit more to see where exactly this goes. I feel like if there is truth to this rumor, I set it at $100. That is 20 to 30% premium probably on a name like this. And I'm not even sure Roku would accept that. So I feel like this goes to 130 if this is true. So you can hold on to your longs in Roku, but be very, very careful. This is a news-driven trade, Brendan.
Pretty impressive move regardless. Still 10% for Roku on the day, doing all kinds of volume. It's worth mentioning as well. Yeah, we were all over that in the pre-market this morning. Make sure you join us every day. Grab the watch list, guys. Has everything you need to know in the pre-market on it. Use the QR code there. We'll get you the link in the chat. Something else that happened while we were away, or while you were with Trader Prad, Twitter with a bunch of headlines that came out, including not only are they going to comply with apparently whatever Elon wants as far as data goes, they said they're going to hold a shareholder vote by August on the sale itself. So finally, we have kind of a timeline, at least, as to when this thing could move in the right direction. But Twitter is not traded on the NF exchange. That's why I don't have a chart. Anyways, guys, Twitter making moves during lunch.
The old NF exchange. Look, the deadline for the breakup is like October 20-something, 26.
October.
But they have to vote before that. I mean, that's a deadline where either direction, if it doesn't happen, one owes the other $1 billion, which is chump change on one side of the for both sides of the equation, but more so for for Elon. But yeah, it's good to actually see something along those lines where we can actually start to feel like this is going to get resolved, because the back and forth, it gets a little bit tiresome. And it just, even for Tesla shareholders, I think everyone wants to see the next step more definitively. Not to jump, and there's too much moving here, and not to jump away from that, but this QTT, this Chinese software stock, just going absolutely gangbusters. There's been a lot of these runners here today, these low float style runners. This got to like $2. That's why I want to bring it up. It was a 95-cent stock yesterday. It's a $1.90, 100% move here. $2 is a pretty significant level, so I just wanted to highlight it. It has some room if it breaks 2 into 3, but you can see like the last consolidation high was 2 even. So watch out, man. You got this, you got IMPP, which is rallying. GameStop gave it up, but there's so much out there. I don't know if I see too many trades in Twitter. I did take one. Did I take it? No, it was yesterday. I took one shot at Twitter yesterday.
Shots.
And I do see like 41 has been resistance. I've liked the 40 for support. I just wish I'd taken a shot at it, maybe a little bit after lunchtime there. There was one chance, and maybe if we see that price again, we can go for it. But I'm looking at some of these runners, and you got to be over them. This QTT, that IMPP, that's top of the mind. I just got back into Amazon, which shook me out at 121 like a half an hour ago, and now we're right back there.
All right, what's up, Peter? I'll tell him. Tell Sean he doesn't need to yell. Okay, Sean, you don't need to yell. All right,
Sean,
got it. Thanks, Peter. My first day here. So, all right, thank you for that, Peter. But look at AMD. I mean, I yell when we get excited right here. Look at this AMD trade. We buy this one at 101.50. It's up to 102.50. $1 in the money. I'll try to lower my voice and fire off the cannons as well on that trade. We have a bigger problem, though, and that's Apple. As we went short here, and yeah, we didn't take any out at 147.50. We went short on the break of the day there, the bottom break. And I was saying again to some of the friends I was talking to on Instagram that I really, really think Apple can make a move to the downside. I just don't know when that's going to be, and it doesn't look like it's going to be today. We were initially long this name here early, which turned out to be great. I mean, a good long right off the top, 10 o'clock, right when we sort of had that Roku trade. Picked this up at 149, basically 148.80. Hit this all the way up to 149.60. That's about 80 cents or so. So, we're dug into this right now. The reason why we're at this 148.50, and I'm just like, are we going to break it? Maybe. I didn't expect us to be above the 50 period right now. So it's gotten me a little bit nervous. I do have the outs ready, set, go on that if it does come back in. So that's the Apple trade. I wanted to say something else. Oh, yeah. We asked the 8 Ball. The 8 Ball, I said, will Elon Musk eventually buy Twitter? But I didn't ask for a specific price.
Oh, yeah.
It said you may rely on it. So the deal, I'm pretty sure, according to the 8 Ball, and mind you, we've done the 8 Ball a few times. We haven't kept track.
Look, I'm just
so
going to.
I don't know how reliable.
No. The 8 Ball is running at about 97.5%. That's unscientific because I just made it up 2 seconds ago, but that's what it's running right now.
Okay, so 97.5% says that eventually Elon Musk does take control of Twitter. But I should have asked a specific price.
Yeah, but to me, the question is 44.20 or 42.69. I know which one I think is a cooler price. The question is, does Elon?
I love how Prad instantly, as soon as the show's over, he goes back into his shirt. Like, it's like, I'm taking off my button shirt and just going classic Brampton style.
In fairness, I thought they were golfing today. There's some people.
Oh, maybe they're golfing. Yeah, he's got on his English soccer.
You golfing today? Yeah.
Hey,
is that Man U? Oh, it's England. Okay.
Literally England, yeah. I have a Man U jersey. I might wear my Man U jersey tomorrow. I went to Old Trafford, but there was no game, so I did the tour of Old Trafford there in London.
Liverpool. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Liverpool, didn't they just...
No, they lost.
They lost.
Yeah, they lost in the championship to Real Madrid.
Right? Yeah. So I saw that one,
but they were there. They were there.
Yeah, they were there. No, that's great. Champions League is awesome. I mean,
it is.
Whatever, all soccer. And we have the Team Canada right now. Wow, some controversy behind them. And they want 40% of the revenues or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to get involved in it. I think
all I will say is this.
Sounds too much, but I don't.
We don't go to the World Cup. Canada's going to the World Cup. Pay them. We're going to the World Cup, man.
We don't even pay our Olympic athletes, man. So, we're one of the only countries out there that we don't pay our Olympic athletes anything.
I've known a few, and it's like...
I mean, maybe they get like 20 grand. Like, I don't even know if they get that much, to be honest with you. Like, imagine you make the Olympics, and it's like, so that's why you see... I actually explained to my kids the other day, I saw Tessa Virtue, she's a figure skater for us, and she was doing like...
Legend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, huge legend. And she was doing like GM commercials, and I was like, okay, I don't know. I just wish they got paid more. So I don't know enough about it, but Canada Soccer, they're in a tough division. I bet them actually on FanDuel there, Brad. There was an odds boost for them to get out of that division. It was pretty good. I don't know if it was 4-1 or 5-1 or something. Today, NBA. Okay, so actually, the Celtics are only 5-4 at home. They actually play better on the road, and it's a pretty close, even match. I don't know. Actually, I'm done. I have Boston to win the whole thing. It's just I don't know, and I put that in the second round. I just don't know, man. Golden State has the pedigree, so I'm a little bit nervous about that. But why I like Boston so much is because it's what the NBA should be. It shouldn't be run by a bunch of these clowns just saying whatever team they want to go on, they pick and choose that. Kevin Durant was the part of the trade that got Celtics, and I saw this because I think ESPN tweeted it, but they traded. It was part of a big trade. Boston wound up getting like 2 first-round picks, somebody else, and it was for Durant. It was just part of a three-way because Durant was never in Boston. I think must have been when he was in Golden State anyways. With those 3 picks they took Tatum, Brown, and Marcus Smart.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, I like that you could build, and I think the Raptors are trying to do the same thing, where you could build from the draft. Sure, and I don't think there's anything wrong with signing big players. I think you need to do that. I mean, it's in the NBA. There's only 5 guys on the court at each time.
It's a superstar league, right?
And it's a superstar league, so you can't win without one. But Tatum's built himself into that superstar.
Well, that's the thing.
mold.
Like, you have a player that turned into a superstar.
Yeah, and it's just like so. Anyways,
very quickly.
Yeah, let's go.
I just threw this one.
Where am I?
I threw this one in the chat because I said IMPP, and I was like, yeah, I just took an 84 short, 84 cents on IMPP in front of 85, which was a double top. It still technically is a double top, and if this thing gets to $1, if this breaks $1 today, I promise you I've swung at it at least twice, but this is already one. But this is going absolutely nuts. When you get these low float runners, in the energy space specifically, when crude does what it's doing, they can run. But this one has been under a lot of pressure. I should show you guys. Like, if it gets back to $1, that's not exactly saying a ton, but it should be a pretty good level. So I took one swing there, which is 84s in front of 85, like pretty standard. Give it a penny, see what happens. And then Amazon tried to bounce off 121, but that doesn't seem like it wants to go here. It was okay the first time I took it, well above. Like, I took 25s and got some out for a scalp trade. Then I reloaded in front of 21, and it just wick bottomed on me pretty much instantly. But I'm back into some Amazon here.
I just want to say something here, since we're on the sports thing here, and we're just going to go. I got to find the O Canada thing here because George Rodriguez. I'll give you another second to clarify this comment. Canada has never beat Costa Rica. So I'll give you a chance to Google that to see if after you do that, if you want to say that again, and then we'll find out George Rodriguez coming through. Forget it. I'll show it right here. Here's Canada 1-0 v Costa Rica. Canada 2-0 v Costa Rica. We just dealt with these guys. Yeah. So, anyways, there it is. Shout out to George. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Look, nothing. No, I like Costa Rica. I mean, beautiful. I like to actually maybe retire in Costa Rica.
Who was it that was it Branson?
What?
The Villa. Not Branson. The other guy. No, McAfee. Was it McAfee?
Oh, no, he was Belize.
Oh, Belize. Okay, yeah. He's a character, man.
That John McAfee. Yeah, rest in peace. We don't need to talk about him.
Don't get me wrong.
Apparently, I guess, whatever. You
that's
guys know the John McAfee story. Anyways, if you ever want to see like a documentary, I don't know if it was Showcase or whatever, but that's a wild stuff, man, that John McAfee stuff. Okay, let's just keep on going with this trade. So, again, here comes Apple pulling back in a little bit. I mean, it's the only trade I have on. I mean, I have on AMD, but honestly, it's in that 10% mode again for me here on AMD. The reason why I got out of this is because I would have loved to hold it all, and I think that was sort of the plan. But the thing is, I got sidetracked with this Apple trade, and it says this is not working out. It keeps bouncing off 148. So I'm going to have to take something out here at 148. I have way too many shares for this, and we didn't mean to have this many. So we will take out about 15% or so very soon when we come down to 148. And that'll give me a little bit more of a comfortable position for myself. Obviously, there it is. We'll take a little bit out. So we just took it out. That was literally a 15-cent hit. Well worth it to me. I don't know. The market's coming back in. I don't have any more bids now until 147.50. So let's see if Apple can come back down there. Is NVAX halted again?
No.
Are we still doing that? We haven't even done that rundown yet, have we? Where are we?
So I was just having this conversation with Fahad. It's only 2:18.
Yeah.
The rundown.
Poor Brendan. People are going to think he's not even here anymore. Brendan, you still alive there, buddy?
I can just put my feet up. It's
fine.
fine.
Let's do that.
It's all good.
You could never on that desk.
It might be dangerous over here. Let's talk about, there goes that thing again. Let's talk about Chinese stocks, shall we? Because this just happened, actually, guys. Alibaba took out its day high there on a huge volume spike once again. So yeah, just a 13% kind of day for Alibaba today. I mean, they're all higher, DD included. Reopening talk, there's investment talk. It's all good, apparently, for China.
Yeah. Neil and I both have some beef with Alibaba. I don't have as much as you.
So look, the Alibaba trading, look, keystrokes can happen to you all the time. And to be honest about it, like I'm lucky that it happened the way that it did because I was scalping out of the breakout trade. And what essentially happened is I was taking out for profit and then accidentally reversed. I got out of everything, and when you put too many, you put an extra zero and ended up reversing on the trade accidentally at 110.50. Like I was trying to get out of some shares, not all of them, and then ended up reversing, but there was plenty of liquidity at 110.50. So I was just able to quickly get out of it because I didn't want to be short at that price. And then I was flat, and then you can kind of see, you can see the candle that I did that move on. So this could have been an abject disaster. Thankfully it wasn't, but this could have gotten really ugly really fast because in the midst of that long break, when I was long multiple times in here, I caught an accidental short and just had to quickly cover it. That could have been a day ruiner. I didn't really come back to trading. I ended up trading Pinduoduo when it eventually broke out. And look, all of these have been pretty strong. Pinduoduo was relatively weak, right? Like it resisted the entire time Alibaba was breaking out. Then when it finally got through 63, I stopped shorting it and went into the long trade. I didn't get the 65 short, and I don't remember why. I mean, maybe we were in the meeting. I don't know. It was kind of frustrating because with that 50 period or 200 period we were talking about in the morning show, where I thought there'd be a reversal on Pinduoduo, ended up being true there at 65, but I was just out of the long, didn't quite catch that short. I think that's the line in the sand. If it gets back up at there again today, maybe Bob is at 120 or wherever the heck it is at that point. Make sure it's not breaking out. But 65 is a good level because of the significance it has, that 200 period. I already stopped there once, so I would take a short off of that to be sure. And sometimes I reverse these in IMPP. Today I didn't. It's high enough that I don't love the reversal, but it gave you a couple of pennies there. I still think $1 is going to be a big level for that stock if it can get there, but it's got a few levels to take out before it does.
Yeah, no, shoot, Alphonso Davies. I think he's one of the greatest Canadian, well, probably the greatest Canadian football player of all time. I mean, Alphonso Davies, yeah, for sure. He didn't even play in the last 4 or 5 games. He had I think it was long COVID. Like he had COVID and then he had some respiratory problems or something. I guess it wouldn't be long COVID, but he had something there. Alphonso Davies, plays for Bayern, I think, as well. Okay, so Alibaba, Neil just covered it there a little bit. For that, what's not far hot over there? So here it is. We went short the first time. You mentioned the levels there, right? I was talking to Pratt here. But there was a huge seller at 110. So we went short in front of it, got out, then busted it long. And then that's where the party really started for me, all the way to the upside, getting some out at 112. So that turns out to be where the players dwell and where my best out was. And then it came back in and we got some out at 1130 and really haven't even looked at Baba since on that. So definitely a mistake not still holding on. Wow, 118 Alibaba. That one wins, man. This is the king of the day for sure. Pulled back into 115. Great trade there. You know what? The forward PE, and I know it's the forward PE, it is what it is, but it's 1.75. Not after today's move, maybe you're at 2.75. But a remarkable opportunity for anybody that believes in China. For me, I'm still an investor in Alibaba, way higher than this. I think my average price is 160. I wound up getting some out at 130, one of the first times it popped back up. So I like Alibaba. I think it was right into here. Like it went down and we just got out. It's so long ago, January. That's why I think it was somewhere around here, 130, 135. Before it came back in, I didn't buy anything down here. So again, the risk I love NEO. I like Alibaba the best out of all of them. My fear with this, of course, I said this earlier on, was just China. Like I don't know. There's too much there. What if they go into Taiwan? What if we've already seen basically the world came in. And I don't think they can do this to China because honestly, Russia GDP, like some of the money that a lot of these foreign nationals or these companies, foreign nationals to Russia, but like McDonald's, they're like 1 or 2% of their revenues are coming from Russia. So it's easy for them to stop business in Russia, right? It's easy for a lot of these places. Nike can stop selling whatever they want. But what are you going to do when China basically does the exact same thing to Taiwan? I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but What are they going to do? Slap tariffs on? Like, what are they going to do? Prevent China from buying U.S. stuff? Or we're going to stop buying Chinese-made equipment or materials? Like, that's not happening. And so I'm nervous that the sanctions could come in the way of the stock market, in the way of delistings, things like that. So for me, that would be my number one worry. Like, trust me, the minute China does anything to Taiwan, you're going to come in and you're going to see Alibaba down 30 or 40% that day. So I just don't know if that risk is tolerable for many of our accounts. So that is the risk with Alibaba. I think if you're going to nibble, fine. I don't see why this thing can't at least get back, at least a 200 period, which is 120. I could get that tomorrow, 126. But this thing could fly. Like, Alibaba was $400 or $330 or something like that in Halloween. Even goes there. There it is right there, $330. When was this? Yeah, October. As if I just said Halloween. That was probably the exact day. Right there, 320 on late October was the high for Alibaba, and you're cut into a third. Meanwhile, their profits are going through the roof. This is not like a Kathy Wood name here. These guys are profitable. They're a big name. Like, Singles Day is monstrous. You think Amazon is big? Like, Alibaba, you just look at some of the numbers and it'll blow your mind. But I like Alibaba. It's just that risk, Brendan, I think is too large for many of us to hold in our accounts of big position.
Monster moves, though, for all of these, even intradays. Just amazing today. DD Global, guys, if you missed it, there was an EV story. They're going to buy a third of an EV maker over in China. It was actually the EV division of an automaker over in China. Let's go on to Roku. We heard Sean's take off the top here. If you missed it, it was right, I believe, as we switched over to the midday show today around 11 o'clock when CNBC came out and said, there's no substance to this, and kind of threw some cold water on it. That was the story in the pre-market, but this was the volume spike that came in. What time was that? Yeah, it was right at 11. There was a big move down, as CNBC said. There's absolutely nothing to this story, but hey, here we are, still up almost 10%.
Yeah, it was basically the second we switched. Well, not the second, but I mean,
pretty much.
It was, yeah.
I remember yelling to Pratt, "I'm long."
It was like 11. It was crazy, but it's still above that price, which I think everyone is probably going to be looking at that 100 level. 100 to 101 was essentially it just consolidated all morning long. Like, I was shorted a couple of times to grab the buck and then had a long reversal that I got out of. And I think we're just sort of probably buying dips in front of that price range at 100, 101. Those are the two levels. I think we can take shots there. It's up 10%. Just to keep in mind, by the way, like the ES is about to challenge the low of the day. So I'd watch out for that. The NASDAQ is kind of pressing towards it, down 1%. So when you're picking some of these bottoms, you got to watch out. And I'm back in that IMPP because I put a wick off top in. I do have a couple of shorts, and I didn't talk about this, but I am in Virgin Galactic. I think we mentioned Virgin Galactic yesterday and how I missed a shot at it, and I wanted to take this one for a rollover. Well, it broke out, stopped 750. Put in a little bit of a head and shoulders. Now you have a double hump here at 730 that I'm kind of just shorting both times. And then NVAX, which flushed all day, all morning, just had a run back up to the pre-market support. Sort of an easy consolidation short when the market rolled over at about 51. Now we're rolling it back into VWAP. So that's about 70 cents in the money. I'm looking for $1.50 to about $2 on that one. But IMPP off the high of the day. It's easier to be in the shorts because the market is obviously, it's weak here. Clearly.
Yeah. Oh, man. We just unrealized made back a lot of money. Obviously, Apple is only 10 cents in the money now and starting to accelerate back into the downside. I'm just going to start to piece some of these out. There it is, another out at 71 right there as we take that fill and it coming in now for us. So a big trade coming on board for Apple. This was one of my bigger positions, and it was just the fact that we took a position there, didn't get out. Then I told myself that I was sort of going to channel my inner Arun, sorry to insult Arun here, but and try to hold something a little bit longer. I've been wanting to get short Apple, and I was like, you know what? Let's take the low of the day. That broke. It went down. Normally we'd be scalping that out, but we went and got a cold brew here as well. It's not. This is a iced.
The Beebs. Yeah.
I told you it's not the Beebs, but it's the Beebs cup, but it's vanilla with a vanilla shot or something, cold brew. So I'm trying cold brew. I mentioned that a couple times.
The flavored is the way to go.
Had a coupon in the app. Oh, and then we saw. That's why I got it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that. I think we're both the same like that. I use the word frugal, and I said,
I'm cheap.
Even to Baxter, it's like, you know what? Download the app, man. When you go to McDonald's or wherever you go, it's It's literally like, oh, 2-for-1 coffee. So I'm with the wife. You grab 2 coffees, like whatever. Why do I want to pay double? But anyways, long story short, we met another. I was like walking out, and then I can't remember his name now, but he mentioned, he goes, "Hey, Sean," and I was like, oh God. And then do I know you type of thing? Like playing the game, you know? And then the weirdest was in Miami. Look, meeting somebody just outside our office. Is what it is. Okay. And then anyways, so brought him through here. He met you, met Brendan. He asked where Miss V was, so I'm not sure, you know, how often he watches, but still fine. And then I explained that to him. And anyways, great meeting our fans. He came in, saw everything, and he will tell you our security. Although, where's Tony? Well, find that Tony Tuesday graphic. Throw it up if you have it.
Fantastic.
Anyways, yeah, you know, now it's improved. Because now you have to tap your phone to get in. So I was explaining that to the guy, so heightened security around Trader TV Live. But he picked me out of the street there on Bay Street, and I brought him right in. So, you know, man of the people here, showing him around. Trader Pratt and Ian were on, so he didn't get to me. There he is. What's up, Tony? Trader Pratt and Ian obviously were on that as well. Yeah, don't show Trader Pratt.
Don't go to him right now.
He's just chilling out right now. There's the big yawn in the background. We don't need to show him as we go. But okay, yeah, back to whatever's next on the board there. It looks like it's a Spotify, not a Rune shirt, but Spotify.
Or a Rune shirt, I guess. It doesn't matter. Let's talk Spotify. It was Investor Day, if you are a Spotify investor, just so you know. A couple of things coming from this that were pretty interesting. The first, they said podcasts specifically will be profitable within 2 years. So that was the first thing. The second, this note here, 40% gross margin and 20% operating margin in 10 years from Spotify. So, I mean, it wasn't doing anything until the CEO took the microphone, and then that happened, and then the event ended. So, I mean, we're holding nicely, obviously, up 6% today, but pretty good move here for spot, guys.
Yeah, for sure. And look, we always talk about key levels, and in liquidity vacuums, it matters even more. Because that got to 119, and then just 119 even, like 0-0, and it just reversed on a dime. And that's your 50-period moving average. If you go to like this chart, I mean, give me a break. Like I jumped right over to it and tried to get shorts at 118.5 and couldn't grab it. I did play the bounce off 115, scalped it to 16, and then got out when it broke. So, and then just walked away because it's a pretty choppy name. That was your chance to make a trade, I think, if you were trying to get that short, because you're not going to get the long in that situation. Let's be real. The algos are pretty much all over that. So usually you're just stuck with the catching the dip as support or VWAP, or trying to catch that bit of a short trade. However, let's keep it real, right? If we get, I mean, obviously the market's down today, but if we get another bounce to the upside, you got a double top here, 119, something that has been consolidating and range bound, and that's going to be a bit of a theme. Remind me not to talk. You know what? I'm just going to say it right now because I'm going to forget about this if I don't mention what's going on in Occidental right now. So, quickly jumping from Spotify, everybody knows what's happening in oil, right? I understand like you've had some pullbacks here at the last little bit. But overall, oil's been making a very strong move up. This is what Oxy has been doing for the last week. Every time it gets to 68, it bounces. It goes exactly $3. It reverses at 71, and then we find our way back to the bottom. So I'm not saying, but I'm saying obviously, something interesting is going on with Occidental. And if you want to trade scalp trades, I guess you buy up that 68 level and try and catch some longs and short off of the high just above 71. Or we wait for this to break out of the range and then get below. And then the day that it opens up at like 67.5, and you have a chance to be able to either short into the lows or breaks back out if oil's really making that move to 140, you just got to be all over. Like I set my alerts just to be sure, because this can't hold true forever if we're trending one direction in oil. I understand Oxy has done this in the past, but it's getting a little extreme in this range. So it's on my radar whenever it gets out of here.
Okay, so Spotify firm, yeah. Well, thanks for all the positive talk about Amazon, man. And whoever wrote that there was 100% right. And I want to thank everybody for all your super chats. I'm going to address them in a minute. But I did want to say thank you so much. Where was it here? Oh, first of all, what's up to Wayne? Is Bears vs. Bulls affiliated with Trader TV? And from the line, does it go in? Yes, he is. So we want to thank Bears vs. Bulls now, on payroll, basically. We're really happy with the job that Bears vs. Bulls is doing. So I want to give a big shout out to you. Thank you, my friend. You know my personal email. If you need anything, let me know on that one. And yeah, I do have merchandise coming to you. Make sure you send me your address for sure. Now we've got that sorted out. That used to be Ms. V doing that. So that's why if there is anything that I've delayed in sending to people, it's definitely not. I'm going to get out some more Apple right here. Okay, and then someone else said something here that we're the best. Here it is right here. Thank you to Chris L so much. You're also a member. We do really put on one of the best, if not the best. I like to see one better. Trading shows on YouTube.
Only.
Thank you for that. And then this super chat right here. So giveaway. You want to do a giveaway? I'd love to do a giveaway, but Maggie slapped me around the last time I did that because apparently there's some sort of legal things about doing giveaways.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, so that's why I haven't done it. So basically, all right, let's keep it real. The last giveaway that I did, I just did it, like didn't really talk about it with anybody. And then so once we got legal involved in everything, there was some issues. So I'm going to go back to that and find out. So I did get whatever. So that's that. But okay.
Well, if you show up here, we can definitely give people stuff.
This vanilla cold brew is pretty nice. Or you just show up here, I just do it, and then nobody knows, right? So
I think
I think it was because we did that wheel on the TV. Like it needs to be sort of more official. I don't know, but I mean, regardless. All right, cheers. You got the water. Probably a lot healthier, obviously. But
yeah, but it doesn't taste.
I just started.
It doesn't taste nearly as good. I mean, obviously.
I think water tastes great, actually. But
also, you got to take some profit. Let's not look gift horses in the mouth. The market's moving to the downside here. So IMPP's pulling back. So, I mean, watch out. I mean, if you're trading INDO or maybe HUSA or any of these other names, you are seeing them start to come off. Wick topped off that 85 break. So Wick top jumped back into essentially the same trade, and I'm starting to get out already. I want to get out to VWAP here for sure. Still holding NVAX, and it's nice that, I mean, the other day when I missed Virgin Galactic, I'm not going to have gotten it today at the high of the day, but at least we're able to get into this one. And now, as long as it rolls back to 720, we'll keep getting out. But I want to hold something. I want to hold. If the market flushes, I don't see why we shouldn't at least revisit $7 on Virgin Galactic. So we'll take a look at this. I mean, obviously the shorts are coming in here. 4,100 on the NASDAQ, so the ES coming quick.
Yep. Max, I see you in the background there. And actually, the guy that came through. What happened? Your bad?
No, that's my bad.
Okay, the guy that came through. First of all, why is this guy? Let's go.
I'm sorry, bro.
To me?
No, Bren.
Oh, we threw to Brendan. That's okay. He's still there. Okay, so the guy that came through took pictures, right? So that's true, Guy Talax. If you come in, you can too stand beside Brendan and get a nice picture of him. But before we go back to Brendan, Fahad, just so the super chat doesn't disappear. What's up, CDM? Thank you again for the super chat. You found stocks offered not on NYSE but available on foreign markets. So, for example, there's things called ADRs. For example, Adidas is listed on the pink sheets. I heard Brad talk about Luckin Coffee as well. Roche, pretty much Nintendo, I can go on and on, Tencent. There's so many names that are listed on the pink sheets, which is OTC markets. So I was just going to say, before you open up a foreign account, first of all, you may not be able to. There are some countries where, you're going to have to be a citizen or show some kind of proof of residence to open up a foreign account. But there are basically any stock you're looking for, as long as it's sort of a larger cap name, there will be some kind of an ADR to trade it. So just Google whatever name you're looking for, CDM, and type in after that Adam David Robert, ADR, and then hopefully that will be able to come up. So I would say it's always worth looking into it. Like if you've got, you've done work and you think there's a name over there in Stockholm or wherever that's not tradable, I mean, yeah, sure, look into it, and maybe there is a possibility to trade that. I would even phone your broker. They may have an affiliated broker service over there that can get you those shares, or ADR. You could definitely look at those deposits for those kind of names that I've been talking about. But before we get too far along here, you want to talk about a firm there, big guy?
Sure, let's. Also, wanted to mention Robinhood, guys, just popping back up on some volume here, back to the upside. If you missed it, so yeah, we'll get to a firm here, but 2.9 now for a firm, but trying to go higher. Gary Gensler up here in the corner, coming out with his plan for retail trading platforms, specifically retail trading brokers today. And the gist is essentially he wants to make them all compete against each other for order flow instead of having pay for order flow. Or any kind of firm that's going to execute retail orders to compete with each other instead of pay for order flows. So that's their solution, I guess, for this. A firm as well we talked about in the pre-market a bit, if you joined us this morning, Wedbush, initiating with an underweight and a $15 price target, which I haven't looked at it lately, but that was almost half from where it was this morning, guys.
I think they picked that by just looking at the chart and picking the all-time low, which is, I mean, that's actually possible. It's not a ridiculous notion. I mean, who knows? I mean, they always have formulas to do this sort of thing. But quick on the first note you mentioned there, so that's going to affect Robinhood, Virtu, Schwab, who else is there? ICE, NASDAQ, like those are all,
any of them.
That's going to affect them. But obviously, Robinhood did flush on that news and has recovered a little bit. I'd watch that one 850, 855 or so, but could come into a level there. But yeah, that affects Robinhood. They're down 3% today.
All right, so we had a firm, shout out to everybody who's a part of Sticky Note Nation. Also now Sticky Note Nation on Instagram by popular demand. So that's on Instagram if you want to check out the Sticky Note. This is multiple days in a row where we had a firm, and we wanted to go short here. Starting, look at 24.50 up to 25 short here for a firm. Of course, this note written at 8 a.m. every single day. So find it there. And this is exactly what I did, man. I mean, we just rinse and repeat this a second time as we went up. Not only that, I canceled my 24.50 to start it at 24.60 up to 24.80. The highest we got was 24.90. So we talked about shorting it at 25. So there it is, man, all the way to the downside. And we just got out of our last piece just as we came on the air at basically 2 o'clock. When we took down this 23.11 area, we just looked back here and we were just like, you know what, let's just take this down. We were holding it all the way down here, so I did give up about 30 cents of upside, but that's still a buck. I mean, the short is 24. Let's say this average price is 24.70. That's out at 23.11 or whatever the price was there. So that's a good out at the bottom for about $1.50 worth of a win on A, F to the R to the M. I did want to say also, before, I guess we're done now, so we won't get Brendan all upset here. But there goes Amazon. We talked about this one at 124 over and over and over again. And honestly, Neil, Billy behind me, I hope, has this because he talked about this with me yesterday. And it's like,
that's frustrating.
It's literally like 3 days in a row that we were like 124, 124.
It's only been 3 days.
So where the heck are my shorts on this? Mamma mia. Come on, focus, man. Don't worry about Canadian soccer. Don't worry about golf. Don't worry about all that stuff. Oh, by the way, the RBC. See how I get sidetracked? This is easy. The RBC Canadian Open, right by my house, St. George's Golf Club.
So, so when I come in to go to the Jays games, we take the train, like the up. So I go to Weston.
Right.
And I remember driving past, and I'm like, why is, it was Islington was blocked off.
Yes,
and I'm
exactly.
I'm like, oh, it's got to be the golf tournament. I'm like, I don't know which one. So, yeah, it's a gorgeous course.
It's one of the best ones. Canadian Open can't pick
beautiful
a better course. It's not Glen Abbey or anything like that. You're talking about a premier golf club. But anyways, okay, a golf course. But Amazon today, like, honestly, that 124, and I mean, we go over and over again. Let me just drop this down to like a 5-minute chart just so you can see why we like it so much. Whoops, that's too much. Right there. So on the day where we split upside, right? So Amazon got a huge bump up to 129. We were short. We did really well on Amazon this day. No doubt about that. But 120, darn it. But 124 didn't break. So we were like, you know what? Once we opened up below it, we wanted to use that as resistance. There's 124 again. There it is again, and then that's today, 124. So yesterday, 124 came into play at about 11 o'clock, and almost to the exact minute came into play again today around 10:30, 11 o'clock. So we got to watch out for that. And then Ronnie Boy was talking about scalping back and forth here. I mean, look at this range, 121.50 down to 120.75. So I get the opinion there, Ronnie, that your trading would look a lot like mine over the last little while for Amazon, as it's been pretty much scalp city. If you just look even at a 1-minute chart here, I mean, any shorts here, you get them out and vice versa. But now you're breaking. Abort, Ronnie, if you are now doing that short, because we've broken above the 50 period. So you got to abort that scalp right now as Amazon's starting to go. Maybe this is finally a long in AMZN.
Yeah, the market catching a bounce here. So we got toward those lows. Looked like we were going to roll over a little bit, but a few names trying to come back here. Facebook. It's Meta tomorrow. It's still Facebook.
Yep.
Facebook bouncing off of its low of the day. It's got to chew through this 198, 198.5 half there. So that's a key level it's trying to come into. Looking pretty strong. Tesla making a bit of a bounce here as well. 730 looks like it's a bit of a line in the sand. Nice double bottom, by the way. Look, 720. I like that price coming in. This is like famously this morning, I didn't get my reversal when it broke back out. It's exactly what we tried yesterday. It did work yesterday. We didn't get it today. And then I end up only scalp shorting it, which was unfortunate because the long was easily the better play. Despite 750 was good to the short side, the long was better. I think off 720 is where you're taking these longs on Tesla. PDD, I mean, I'm assuming Alibaba, that's got to be breaking back out to the high because Pinduo Duo came into 65. I got the 70 short. It's for now, it's still holding below 65. Try and scalp some out 1-to-1, see if that can't pull back in. It's a double top, and it's the 200 period moving average at 65 even on PDD. Virgin Galactic still looking okay. IMPP did flush almost all the way to VWAP, but the one that with the market bouncing, and maybe it's more concern, NVAX could break the channel. So actually, you know what it just did? Come on, there it goes. It's like I see it come out of my window, and then like it was like a split second or like microsecond or whatever. But there's a stop out on NVAX, and it looks like it's going to try to break back out. At the open, it did flush off 53 even, which was a level. Ignore all these dark pool wicks. 53 was resistance before 8 o'clock. And 53 was resistance at the open. So, forget about that stuff. 53 is the next big level here for NVAX.
Just quickly here, because we're in Apple and we're able to get out of pretty much all of it. Well, not pretty much all of it. We still have 35 or so percent, so not even close to pretty much all of it. But we were able to get out nicely down here at 147.60. So sure, it's still going to be a negative trade. We'll give back some of the Apple profits that we made right here. But I just want to indicate 148.20. I'm going to get out of this one. Maybe 148.25 or 26. Let me just make sure that we have that. And again, if we're going to zoom in, I'm not giving this to 148.50 anymore. Too big of a hit. It wouldn't be that big of a hit anymore. I mean, it would have been disastrous if that breaks right there, but it doesn't, because then I would have been really pissed when it came back in. But right there, that high candle right there is 148.26. You want to take it out, then I'm just going to get out of the rest of this. This will be a much easier hit for me. 30 cents on half. Like I said, 35% left on this position. So if it does happen, then we'll get out of that one. We're short 147.95. All of this stuff doesn't matter. We're trading this position that we currently have. So, up and down. So this is what I mean. It was a winning trade when we did this. This is part of averaging in and then averaging out to get out, right? So when some of your outs were lower than the lowest it's been, that's a good day. But then our last piece here, we have to make it similar to where we got in. That's 148.26. If it falls down, great. The reason why I don't want to hold this to the upside is because I want to take a breaker 1.9 on Facebook. If this breaks 198, forget about that wick, 198.30. I don't care. I believe in Facebook. So if it takes down 198, there's a lot of consolidation there. We will be careful about that 198.30, but I just feel like if you want to take 198, then you'll get this 50 period to start to come up, and then I can give it like 50 to 70 cents or so worth of room to the outside when I think we can go back to VWAP, which would be a clean dollar. So a 198 break on Facebook. I like that. Roku, still not doing anything. That RDBX, people talking about a little bit of a break there on that one. Someone was spamming cold. So because I have a cold brew here, we'll look at that quickly.
Cold?
NY, is it?
KOL.
Oh, it must be an Amex. Sorry, I've tried everything here. Sometimes if it's Amex, then I lose every time, because that's the last one I'm going to try. Cold. I don't know if there was news on this, Brendan. If I miss this, KOLD right now. Oh, ProShares. Oh, it's a that makes sense. Okay, that's why it's on Amex. This is it's a short nat gas, it looks like. Ultra short, Bloomberg, Nat Gas. Okay, so that would make sense.
That's gotta be crushing,
it's ultra short, remember. So we did have, and maybe there's an update on that, Brendo. I think it was the Freeport. We did have that explosion at the Freeport refinery, I believe it was, maybe about 2 or 3 hours ago. So you can see here on the 1 minute, so this must have been when it was. Look at the increased volume here at about 1 o'clock. So a nice little move to the upside. I'd be very careful trading this. Obviously, it's going to be very machine traded as it's an ETF. So watch out for that. There's very few day traders in here. Obviously, there is now because it's moving around. But just watch out. It will follow spot nat gas, I imagine. And I don't know if this is a bull or a bear, but it's up right now. First of all, it's bull, or it's bear, sorry. I just don't know if it's triple levered. I don't think so. But anyways, 14% on KOLD. Again, I don't think, whenever this kind of stuff happens, I feel like the worst comes out of it. So for me, it's a short. Right now back in, and where your stop would be around here, the high of the day, 21.40 on KOLD, so about $1 higher than that. When explosions happen, as long as and God willing, everybody's safe, obviously. But normally when those happen, it's a cleanup. They'll fix the problem. You really get nervous if it's ever like a. Oh yeah, that's right. My earpiece is not working, so maybe that's why. What's up, Brendan?
Quickly, guys, a little Chinese stock. There was nothing new on that explosion as of yet in Texas, so heads up on natural gas plays. Yeah, WIMI, another Chinese name today, just popping up on monster volume here. Took out day highs and then some, 16% for WIMI hologram, I believe it is. WIMI.
I remember WIMI.
My bad on that, Brendan. My thing wasn't plugged in. So.
Look, it happens, man. Like sometimes the earpiece. Like we're not professional broadcasters. Brendan is. But certainly we have technical issues every now and then. It's gonna happen, man. Like don't worry about it.
Watch your mouth, Neil. We're professionals, It's a YouTube professional, Coming back in.
One of my favorite lines from Ryan Leslie. He's like 6 O's on the left side of a decimal. That's how they know I'm a professional. I mean, but really, realistically speaking, being a professional.
At least if this doesn't work out, you can drop bars.
Nah.
You go on the subway, start dropping some bars and stuff.
I like the big pun. There's one I always want to drop on the show,
big
but
pun?
then, yeah, but I'm like,
You've done it before.
I got to figure the cleaner version for it. So it's like I have to think about it before I do. That's why I can't. It's one of my all-time favorites, but I'll figure out one of these days. WIMI, big volume spike, but I kind of feel like whenever I look at these, and you look, it's up 15%. It's a good move. And a lot of times, like what I would say is this might look a little bit more interesting for a non-day trade because the volume has immediately died down. Above the 50 period, breaking out here probably past 220 or so and room to run. However, the velocity of the move just immediately dissipated. Like it just stopped pretty much on a dime when it broke up. So it's probably a little more interesting to look at it from a higher time frame. IMPP now down at VWAP at 75. So that is, we'll do one of those. However, PDD, man, with this market trying to bounce here, I should have gotten some out a little bit sooner when it made the initial flush. Like when it bounced at 64.40, I tried to slip a bid in like after it was bouncing, and of course, now it's back up at 65. Like this is just so super strong today. It might get to that 10% mark, Brendo.
Just a heads up on Amazon, guys. Now that Amazon is trading in the $120-ish range, we can pay more attention to headlines that are coming through on Amazon right now. Looks like at the Bloomberg conference or some sort of Bloomberg conference, the CEO making some comments right now on apparently they're going to work towards a much better and bigger, significant, in fact, bigger grocery business. He's talking about a lot of different things, including inflationary worries still for the company as well. Not really doing much, but just be aware. Amazon, the CEO making some comments right now.
So Mr. Miyagi, thank you for the super chat.
All right.
I will answer that question with I am mad at you for that super chat. That's my answer to Tupac versus
Give
Biggie.
it one more chance, man.
They're both absolutely fantastic, but to me, it's like it's all about memories, right? Like I remember a certain friend of ours, like we were driving around, like, so being stupid, like you have no plans, so you're just kind of driving around the neighborhoods, and we had like me and my girlfriend, and that's like one of the, my memories with a couple of friends. It's just Tupac and Beyonce, yeah, you guys don't know. Me and my girlfriend was a huge joint. It was a great jam. California Love. Like I just have good memories from some of those songs. So it's nothing against Biggie. It's just for me.
I wonder. We should have
Pac,
a poll.
man.
You put
It's
that
just
poll
Pac.
up, Prad. Yo, Prad.
Bradley.
Can you do a poll, Biggie or Tupac? All right, he's on that right now. So we're going to be 1-1 on that, and we'll see who comes through on that. I feel like it's going to be 50-50. I mean, maybe it depends on if you're from the East or West Coast. So
That's the other. For us, it doesn't matter, but
Brad's never heard of him. He just said, he thought I said Little Dirk or something like that. I mean, Little Dirk and yeah, somebody like that, Little Dirk. I don't even know that guy. Or what about that guy that put a diamond in his head, Little Uzi or something? Why are rappers named Lil something? Lil Baby, Lil Uzi, Lil Dirk, Lil Kim. That's from our joint right there. Lil Kim.
I'm not going to comment
Lil
on
Kim, Biggie
current
Smalls,
hip-hop.
Lil Kim, East Coast.
legit.
Okay, I actually like Nas, but we'll just move on all of that. So
The message, baby, the message.
Yeah, I mean, let's not get started.
You can't get us started on this.
You ain't going to see CNBC talking about this for damn sure. But okay, let's move on this trade.
Joe Kernan's not dropping bars anytime soon.
Joe Kernan. Well, he'd be like Tom Petty. That'd be a good jam for him. Let's not worry about Joe Kernan right now. Okay, yeah, shut up. No, we're not insulting anybody.
Look, man, I have love for. I
like Andrew Ross Sorkin because anybody.
Yeah, man,
I said this before.
cool.
Anybody
He's
that
cool.
goes by 3 names is the jam. I mean,
And he's a
that's what it
producer
is.
on Billions, right? Like he's all.
Yes.
Yeah, legit. I love that kid. He's.
Yes.
I think
yeah,
kid
damn it,
like.
I can't vote
what do
on
I
this.
see him, kid?
Why can't I vote on this, man?
What I don't
right.
understand is, and somebody please figure out why I can vote on these. There's my vote for Tupac right there.
I'm
And
gonna tell
talking
Mag-
about
I'm
the
gonna ask
poll,
Maggie right
but
now.
Sean cannot participate in these polls. It's 69% Tupac. Oh, you guys are fantastic.
That's not going to last. Can you see why I'm on? And if it does, I think it's because all the East Coast people are maybe sleeping right now at Trader TV.
No, first
Sean
of all,
can't
look,
vote.
actually, because the West Coast traders usually are done by lunchtime, so if Pac wins, that's a huge vote up for Pac. So we'll go with it. I mean, we love it. We'll see what happens. This market is going sideways here.
Let's go down
So,
is what we want.
I mean, I only have IMPP and Pinduoduo, so I want this to kind of reverse to the downside. But Amazon, which has stopped me out now twice off 121, this low of the day is 120.75. So I think that's where it might catch a little bit of a bounce. Facebook doesn't seem to want to get to that 198. Like it spikes up, and we keep on reversing here. Virgin Galactic, come on, give me a break, Virgin Galactic. Yeah, I mean, that stopped me out on that last little break. So it was good, then it stunk. If it goes to 750, I'll lose short in front of 750 this afternoon on Virgin Galactic. In this market where it's trending to the downside, you got to take your shots. GameStop, by the way, this did a hard turn at 150. And I don't want to get into the 150 break because you know what happened, Sean. But the break this morning was good. The reversal off of 150 the first time was good. But this fell apart after lunch and dropped like $8 and is still on these lows. I mean, you got to start watching out for, like, this is the 200 period that it got to, rejecting this level. I mean, if it doesn't hold around 135 here, you could be looking at that 125. And look, we were just breaking out off of 100, just a couple of weeks ago. So, there's lots of room on GameStop here if it doesn't hold this 135 area. It's a monster move, but it really rejected that 150 level we've been eyeballing for a while. Tesla just made a right turn, so I guess we can forget about 730 getting taken out there. Looks like it is going to head back down to that double bottom at 723.
All right. I think short. I don't know why, other than the fact that we're below the 50 period here. We're getting into power hour very, very soon. And let's just see where we want to go. Higher high now made into all of these new moves to the downside. I just want to see if we can make a lower low here. And I just talked about that high was matching up with here. We tried to break that high a little while ago. It didn't happen. Then we got above the 50 period and then didn't even get back to that high again. So this is why I'll do my little chart reading here. And I just looking at this, I feel like it should have taken it if it wanted to. And that's why we have tight stops right now, but I'm going to explain my new position. It's AMD to the short side. So right there, we want AMD short. So now it's, we're going to try to hold this. I'm trying to make some money here, but let's just see if we get some levels. We could take a 75 right now out. But here it is. If you look at AMD right now, it's negative down 3% and a bit today, right? We just had the long. We didn't have any shorts today. We hit the long there. It was great. Like, the fact that we were able to get out of this at 105.50 there. Like, look at these bids on AMD. 104.20, right? Boom, 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 all the way out here. These are dollars. We left it alone during this drop. We come back. It breaks the 50 period and another key level right there. AMD, we take the long. We run that all the way up. That's $1 right there. Now it develops a level, so we're short AMD, trying to bid in the 70s to see if we can get it. So I'll take this AMD short against that 102.20. You break 102.20, that's it. I'm gone, out of the way on that one. But we do a starter position right here. It's not a bad position at all, so I'm happy holding this many shares. If it does come down, I do have a bid at 74. So here it comes in right now. Come on, just go down a couple more pennies there. There it is. Where's my bid? No, we just got missed, but we're there. There, come on, fill it. Oh, we got missed again. I think we're on ARCA, but we'll see if we can fill up at 74 bid, get that fill. And then right down there, that's 67. Oh, give me a break. I might just cancel that 74 now and just go to 75. Like, what's the difference at this point? How about 76? Does that work? We'll bid 76 and see if we can get some out. But there it is. We're out. So there it is. Okay, good. So right there, 101.67 is that bottom. We'll put another bid there. Then we'll see if this wants to drop off. again, until these futures break higher, I'm pretty happy with this trade. We'll average into it, but 102.20 is going to be the out. And even as you're looking now, like we just took 15 cents on that. Our risk is going to be 30 cents to the upside. Plus, we want to average in. So let's see what this damage can be done there. And we just took another piece out on Apple on the way down as well.
So there's a big offer here on Pinduoduo at 65. At 65, it's a huge level. It's a 200-period moving average. I've already mentioned the double top, but there's 300,000 sitting on the offer at that level. Always go the wrong way there sometimes. And of course, it's still on AERC from earlier. That stock's still dying, by the way. But PDD, there you go. There it is. That's the offer sitting in front. So I'll always take it in front. I already had the short trade on. But the only change that usually we'll make as day traders is a lot of times it gets to a level like that, you'll just sort of want to get more shares right up in front of the level just so you can take it out. Now, it's a little bit different because you're not trying to hold it to VWAP. That's a pure scalp style trade. So you try to get shares in that like 96, 97 range. And then really, if it breaks, it's pretty obvious. You're just getting out of it essentially right away. Like you're not holding, the idea is that you're not holding past that 65 level. If anything, you want to get out pretty much right there when that level gets taken out. So we'll see what happens. A lot of times it's counter trend, but the market is relatively weak, I do see. So, can we pull back from here? I like the chance that we can, but keep in mind, this is literally one of the strongest stocks in the strongest sector today, which is these Chinese listed names. But we'll see if I can't scalp them. I just got some more shares in the mid 90s there, so I do want to get at least something out in the 80s. Again, it's mostly a scalp style trade. Like if you don't have direct market access, you're probably not making that style. Like you can see I'm starting to really layer the orders in this range just so I can take advantage of it. I still have my other orders in 30s and 60s to hold on to a piece of this, but it's really just about getting that scalp trade in here and then trying to ring the register. And I get it, not everyone can do that trade. What you can do is understand that when everyone's playing off a level like this, it's a crowded trade short in front of it. So when the level gets taken out, there's a lot of people that have that stop in case it breaks. So that's PDD. I should check on what Bob is doing, but PDD off 65.
And here we go. Let's go, man. We'll see the red market coming through. Look at this. We just put this trade on, and there it is. We just took out some of those levels that we were talking about on AMD to the downside right now. We're only at a 30%. We're going to hold the rest of this to see if we do get a flush. All we're kind of doing right now is stacks on stacks on stacks, so hopefully that'll continue for us. Where's my stacked up? Man, we have so many things now. There's my stack up. Okay, right down here into the 50s. We'll take out one more piece at 50. We always do this. It's just part of my nature. I have 200 fills again today, crazy. But we'll see if it can come back in right now into this level, 101.50 or so. I'm literally bidding 53. We'll see if it can come back in. There's 54s and there's 53s. Yes, sir, you roll the dice with AMD, and it comes up. Double sixes today. Is that good? There it is, a nice little move to the downside for AMD. Let's go. And then we go back and we say, because Apple all the way back down 2 days low, trying to get there one more time. Biggie, 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 give me one more chance down there to 147.62. So we'll put another bid right there, take some out on Apple at 70 like we just did, and then we'll see if it can give us that 60 back in 61 or 62. Let's just put a bid there. Again, it should have been sitting there, like honestly, but you got to look some gift horses in the mouth at some point, and we just might have did it right there on Apple. But I still feel like lower lows are coming here. The market looks pretty sick. We've already done this sort of, a little bit of a larger look here at the futures without giving too many key levels. Just the fact that we and this is what I'm doing, man. I'm trying to improve every single day. So it's like, if we didn't take out that high there when we tried, then that's why I'm like indicating to the downside. So just like Ronnie was talking about there, some trades are meant to be scalped, and you could see here some of these shorts in for Apple. We've just been started scalping it out, trying to hold out for a bigger move, but at the same time, nothing wrong with lightening up on some of these trades because you're getting into power hour now. Yep. We've seen the market go directional pretty hard sometimes. So if I'm the wrong way, then I give up everything. Sometimes there's no point in that, but we do want to hold on to something anyways. AMD, we're still holding on to 60% because we did get, I get that 50 bid, right? And it's just like, I don't get it if I'm not sitting there. So the next level down, despite wanting to hold on to this. So I got to get out something in the 30s, and then it's part of my nature to get something out in front of 101. So hopefully this will tank. We'll break the 50s in my next bid here on AMD. And again, remember where the out was. This start was at 90. Our out was right here at 02, at 20 cents upside. So that's 30 cents worth of risk. That's a 45 cent take right there. So a little bit better than 1.5 to 1 or 1.25 to 1 on that take. So we'll take it.
So in all of that with Pinduoduo, the thing that I didn't make sure that I did, because obviously when I adjusted the style of the trade here, you can see like it went from like a hold of the VWAP to a scalp. I probably took about a dozen fills between 65 and 80 here to cover 80% of the trade. And then it broke 65. I didn't get my reversal in. So I didn't get the 65 long, which looked like it was pretty good. Like that went all the way to about 30s when someone stuck a big offer out there and turned the trade around. So good level. We talk about these big size levels for day traders all the time. It could be on a bit of a jailbreak. The other thing which is jailbreaking, if you're looking for relative strength, right, there's only a few places you can find it. BABA, PDD, NVAX, now at least this morning, not so much. But that's continuing its breakout. Don't forget about 53. It's kind of slowing down. I think if it gets to that price, it runs into a little bit of trouble. Just kind of what I think is going to happen there. GameStop, not really doing too much, but if you go back over to my good friend, well, not my good friend, but some of the other low float names.
What about QTT? Oh, you're looking at that right now.
I just did the NZ thing.
Shout out to Karen. I'll take it. I have the chart up here, Karen.
Okay.
Yeah. QTT. Okay, so another name that people are talking about right now a lot, obviously on the chat, where it's another one of these Chinese quotient Tao. I'm not even going to imagine it to pronounce that properly. 124%, 125% to the upside right there. Definitely basing out at 165. Like, how many times did they give this trade to you here over and over and over again at 165? A great little move up. Because the move's already extended, not much to look at here on the level 2. So let's try to do, there's the 20-minute chart. We're always calling on Brendan here, but I feel like a lot of these Chinese names are just going nuts now because they've been so beat down by some of the talk here on delisting, on the Chinese government like really reeling in on some of the regulations, and now that's come out from what we hear anyways. That's why you get Alibaba to the upside. So a small little stock like QTT most likely going for that exact reason. Remember we saw OCFT? That was something... was it OCFT? No, it was on New York. That's right. This morning when we showed you the 5 million share bid down there, and now you're up to that nice. This one doesn't do the volume, only 9 million shares. It was 30,000 shares down here when we brought this one to your attention, straight to the upside. So a good little move there for OCFT. I don't know if it was any of you guys buying, but literally as soon as we started talking about this name, it just started to rip up today. OCFT, and let me show you the daily chart on it quickly. Add text. Okay, we don't need a text box there. But here it was right here. We literally started talking about it, then the volume started to ramp up, and then a big move up to $1.90 on this name. And guess what just happened? Apple right back down in now, down to 167. Market be falling here as Brian, sorry, I was going to say another name there, but the wrong name. 101.40. We just said my bid's at 101.32, so that's good enough, man. Went to 37. Let's put another bid out right now. Cancel our 32 and take a bid right now on AMD. Good trade, Flame Boy, shorting with me here, but there goes AMD to the downside. Glad to give this to you. 50 cents in the money on this.
So, there's a 0% chance that I'm going to trade 65 on Pinduoduo and ignore $120 even on Alibaba. I kept saying I need to check to see what Alibaba is doing, and that's at 119.90 of the high of the day on Alibaba. And if this reverses off this level, obviously, this there's nothing. This is the strongest stock. Like obviously, I just showed you PDD up 10%, but with the market breaking lows, you have to remember, this is an individual stock market at this particular point. Like these days, you will have overall, the NASDAQ coming in at 1% to the downside, and then PDD, Alibaba, probably, Billy, I'm sure a few other names, running to those highs of the day. So this is not a counter. I'm not saying it's going down because of the market. I'm just short because it's 120, and I think there can be a little bit of a pullback. And I know exactly where I'm wrong. Brendo?
Some of the low float names popping back up, including this one, Beyond Spring, guys. 18 million on the float on this one. Don't see any news on it, but nice ramp job into the close here, up to 210 for BYSI.
Like that ramp job. The only thing that I need to do next time, BISI, we'll have a look at that in a minute. The only thing I got to do next time is take a little bit more shares initially. So, like I said, learning as much as I possibly can here. I was planning on taking more shares into 102 when we first took this trade, but that never came in. So that sucks. But anyways, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, have half left right now for AMD as that continues to go down. Apparently there's a small, I don't know, like this might have caused the market just to make new lows there, or close enough to it. Drone attack on the U.S. consulate in Iraq. I don't know. I mean, that stuff happens. I don't want to say all the time because I don't remember the last time I saw that, but that could be anything. So we're not going to trade off that. We're just more trading off the market right here, down to the lows. That was about 5 minutes ago. So I didn't really, that just could have been what that last, I don't know, 3/4 of a point or 1/3 of a point right there. I don't know what that was on the NASDAQ, but down to 12,580 right now on that one. If there's anything serious about that report, Brennan will come with that, but that is what it is. So I feel like that's just not a major thing, but we'll wait to see. Could be there. I don't want to talk about it until there's something there. So that's what that is. I just want to bring it to your attention in case you're watching and wondering why we didn't mention that. On that note, oil oil up 3% at one point today, touched 123. Yesterday at 115 or 114. I said this name probably goes to 140. I don't think that's a rocket science call or anything like that, but let's just wait to see, especially if there's more Middle East tension. And then I know people are saying that China's not going to do anything to Taiwan. I don't believe that's going to happen either. But again, watch the commodities if that does happen. You talked about uranium already. A lot of that stuff comes from Asia.
But also remember, like trading, investing is about risk management. So sometimes, like your job with your portfolio, your job when you're trading is to have in the back of your mind some of the bigger downside. You can call them. I don't want to use the term black swan because I don't think that's not a fair term for something like this. I actually think that's the exact wrong term. But you talk about black swan type events or rare events that have huge tail risk. Right, like you want to be aware of those. Understand, like that is a lot of times where the big money either gets made or lost. So it's about being averse or understanding or ready for those types of things. It's the same thing as trading off of big levels, right? Like you want to make sure that you're attuned to those. I mean, tuned into those. Like BABA 120, Pinduoduo 665 was just a good one, and the reverse was good. So maybe BABA can do the same thing here. But just because something's low probability does not mean you ignore it. Let's be real. Like I think you have to understand that low probability events happen all the time, and then the reason why you get big shocks is because nobody expects that they will come. Market is trying to bounce here. I know there's some longs possibly coming in. We didn't get to 720 or that low on Tesla. I keep checking back, so we're not going to get a QTT turned at 234. So temporarily, it's made a bit of a high. IMPP is getting back close to 80. If it gets above 80, I have a trailing stop for the last of my shares. I don't want that going back toward the high of the day, especially not if there's the drone attack. Maybe it moves oil. I don't know, but I am in an oil name that will move a lot. So.
No, Maximilian. So that just came in right now. Thanks for the $5. We do not have PDT rule on anything, options, single stocks, anything. We don't have a PDT rule at all over here. So that's hence why, part of the reason why we are here. We are on a day trading floor, a prop floor here with Daytrade the World. So you guys can look that up, daytradetheworld.com if you need more information about that. I don't know if there's something there, Bears versus Bulls, but if you hit, I know if you do a pound apply, you can get that. So I don't know if there's something for Day Trade the World, but definitely look at that. Okay, the market is bouncing back up here. So, that's something to look at. We just taken out the 50 period. That's why we average out and get out of some of these trades, right? Like we just talked about. I still look at this AMD as a possibility. Let's look at Apple again. We were going to give it up to 148.20. So that's about to come out very, very soon. We've broken above the 50 period now. So that's tough spot right here. I don't mind averaging in on Apple maybe. But where would we get out? I guess it would be the same price, 148.20. So let's do that into Apple. We get a nice little bump upside here. We'll take some more shares. Hopefully we get filled. I just offered that 90. There it goes. It ripped right through 96. So we'll take some 96s there. Not a huge position, but we are getting against this 148.20. So we're going to watch out for that. Maybe one more piece up here, and then we can get out. Let's just make sure I have the right amount of shares. Yeah, that's okay. So I'm going to stay with this now on this short. So we'll reload that short, and then let's look back in on AMD. I mean, I still like this position for sure. AMD's down 3.5% today, and definitely weaker. But again, 102. Like I just don't want to be dealing with this. 102.20. So if we break back above 102.20, I guess we can get out of AMD as well. But let's take a little bit of profit here because some of these names are starting to bump up a little bit. So we'll just punch out right there. Take a 75 fill. We just literally just marketed it out a little bit. We got out of the last. We probably got out of a little bit too much. We got out of 40% of what we had left, 20% of the original position. So let's take out some there. If it goes back up, we have our reload spots. 102.20 here. We'll reload back at 102, but 102 only.
Yeah, so BOVA 120 reverse wasn't nearly as good as Pinduoduo because PDD, I mean, that's at 65.60. But it instantly went 30 cents on a $60 stock, the reversal. Alibaba got to 120.30, so it went the same amount, but on a stock it's twice as expensive, so not nearly as good. And of course, this is the one that I actually take, but that's a different style of a trade. Like obviously, like you're taking it for that scalp trade idea. I will try to always hold on to some for a bigger move, but really it's about getting a lot out on that initial move in either direction. Like you almost don't care. Like it doesn't matter what direction. But when I say Pinduoduo was better, like look at it. Like missing the reverse on PDD, look how great that is to the upside relative to what I'm seeing in Alibaba, which actually looks like it wants to pull back. And if BABA is not going to hold this 120, I don't understand why Pinduoduo wouldn't come back as well. Like it was not nearly as strong. That 65 is a huge level. So we don't hold above this 120 for long. And I might look for a short in PDD. Obviously, the market is still channeling here. That's why I'm going to be focused on things that are trying to make some moves. There was the triple bottom. As I got myself distracted in these names, that 120.75 in Amazon hit again. Like it's not 121, it's 120.75. Triple bottom at that random price. What's going to happen is I'm going to bid in front of that price, and when it fills the fourth time, it's not going to be any good. But you know, you see that happen, you do it until it doesn't work, or you just don't do it 3 times, do it the fourth, and then we'll see what happens.
All right, there comes AMD. We'll do that. Spin it. So AMD is coming back in. We're just going to take the money on this one. We went long, and again, scalped out. We, like I said, never hold everything for the ultimate high. It's what I do, unfortunately. AMD, we did a little bit better as we got out all the way, equal portions all the way down, and then another portion out there, and another one just now at 60. So we're just sort of massaging these trades. The market is starting to blow back up to the upside right now. It's a little early to worry about the imbalances, but we always do worry about them anyways. So you got to watch out for those coming through at 350, not 450. What are we saying wow about right now?
Well, BABA's at like 120.
Like BABA is,
BABA is up now 16%.
I guess that 110 was a good long down here, eh?
I mean, unbelievable, man. Like, that was my favorite. Yeah, that was a great keystroke error. But look, someone just asked, like, imagine we'd hold, I think it was Scott saying, imagine we held it all day long. Look, there was no chance. Like, I was trying to short at 115. Like, I would have been, no matter what, out a bunch here at 112. I would have been out of everything $5 ago, unquestioned, realistically. Even like the scalp trade, like up here, we have like 45 minutes left. I just can't hold anything past that. Like, even a 120 break, I'm out of it at 50 because it's gone so far now that it's, you know, like, I don't, like, what do you even expect? Like, forget about average true range or any of that other stuff. Like, you just got right to a monster level at 120. The 50 period's almost in play, which there was no chance. Like, this morning, one of the things I said about these two was, oh, Pinduoduo, it's the relative weakness because it's at the 200 period. BABA's not going to get there because it's too far away, whereas PDD is probably going to be able to hit that 65. And now we're in spitting distance with 40 minutes to go of 125 on Alibaba. I mean, if I pull this back far enough, it does put it into perspective. Because since we made that wipeout low, BABA's top, oddly enough, was right around that 125. So we get a shot. Like, you think 120 had a lot on that offer? 125 is going to be gigantic on Alibaba. And that's going to be a crowded trade as well. But I promise you this much. I'll be short at 124.95 with a 125 stop when we see that probably tomorrow.
Make sure you cross up at least 20 pennies because that's what happened to us today where we got this. I mean, this is the same trade that we had today here.
I got 27.
Yeah, I got 20s. So, yeah. Short there in front of 110. There was a couple million shares maybe on the offer. It's done 877 million shares today. Probably will push close to 100 there by the time the close comes through. Yeah, so once it broke, so we took like 10 cents on the first piece. And then once it broke, we executed into the long. And then that was a fun time with our best out being 112. Like, wow, $2, amazing, right? And then it went all the way to 118, let alone when I pushed this, 121. But okay, I see you. Apple comes back in a little bit now, not enough, back down into the 90s here. We could take some of this out. I mean, it's stupid to take out for 10 cents, but what is that? That's the 50 period right here. So there is the 50 period on this name. We just ripped all the way up, close to getting out, man. 148.30 or so was going to be our out. So that almost came out on that little move upside. So be very, very careful with your Apple trade. It seems like it wants to get upside now. It's basically with the market a little bit stronger, so there is some relative strength there, which is why a little bit more nervous. But I feel like Apple's been a pretty good short for the last little while. If you look at the daily chart here, you can see just coming in here, these are all 150s, 148s, 149s. So we're just dancing around these areas. I'm not super excited about the long until we break above 150 and hold it. So until then, and like I said, I was talking with a few people on Insta and whatever, and I just wanted to be able to short Apple. It doesn't look like this time our reload on the short might not work, but this was a pretty good opportunity there. We did have one long earlier at 148, which was a good one. 149.50 is our best out. But right now, a little nervous. Just going to get out if it takes down this 148.20. And then AMD, again, like we only have 20% of this trade left, but that was a good one for us at 101.90. Best out down here at 101.40. So wish we had more out, but there's another out at 50. So yeah, we're just massaging this trade as well. I'm just negative here into the close. We're dancing around the 50 period. We are red on the day. And once again, tried to make a run at this. Look what's happening here. You know, here's a higher high there, right? But then it's a lower high and then a lower high. So we've made now a couple data points. Let's see, it's going to have to take this out to scare anybody, and I don't know if it has that in it. So right now, short Apple, short AMD, but we have our outs, and then I want to go Facebook long.
It's interesting because you were just reiterating that we're down on the day and the market's close to the lows. Like if you're watching Alibaba or any of the, I mean, I just saw Billy's back to $30, by the way. Pinduoduo just broke 66. Like that was just at 65 like 20 minutes ago, man. Like Alibaba is insane. Even this QTT, like I'll tell you this, if you look at this wick top, most times this stock off this 225, like you just short at 220, it'll give you a breaks of 2, but there's buyers that won't even get to $2 on this little pullback. Like you're talking about a stock that was 95 cents, getting a squeeze run, puts in a huge wick high, and then can't even pull back into 2 because there's buyers en masse at 205. But Alibaba is it's just like breaking backs. And I mean, maybe there's a heavy short in this. Like maybe there's day traders that are just caught in this name. I know it's not a huge short interest name, but this is starting to get crazy. Like there's got to be something beyond this. Like maybe like you're getting like gamma squeeze, that kind of thing. But the market is trying to make a little bit of a rally here. Come on, Tesla. It's trying to get above the 50s, trying to get to that 730. Maybe we do have a chance for Baba to drag everything else to the upside.
It's definitely looking like that right now. I knew we were right with trying to get out some of that Apple there when we touched that piece, but it looks like we're going to be out very, very soon on an Apple break. Just to double check, it's 148.20 something. We'll be out, so it's coming very close to that level right now. And then AMD as well. Whoops, here's my AMD trade. This one's going to be actually my number one stock today will be AMD after all said and done right now. I just changed my out 102. We break through 102, we're out of that one because now you're starting to go higher, right? We just took out, I mean, we didn't really break the trend yet, but we're getting close. It looks like the market does want to go to the upside. And again, I don't know if we have anything on the imbalances. Again, it's been a pretty light day volume-wise, I feel, despite some of those crazier names. So we'll wait to see what that happens. But again, 102, we're out. out on AMD, and that's fine. Like, it's my number one stock. We only have 20% left. Easily can take an 11-cent hit on that. Oh, there it is. So now we're out of Apple. Again, it sucks for sure that we are out of Apple, but whatever. Let's just finish it off. We still have a little bit left on that. We'll get out at 22 if we can get it. There it is. And the reason why we want to be out is everything's kind of reversed over now. And then I do want to, and this could be a complete nightmare, but I'm thinking about this take right here on Facebook. If it can meta tomorrow, 197.50. If we could just break above here, then that's really the long that I like. So that's kind of what I'm going to hold out for right now on this long push. We're out of Apple. That's fine. Really lucky. I mean, it could have been a lot worse than what this last little piece was there, considering that we almost got stopped out right there at 148.50, and we didn't. 148.50 might be a pretty key level. It's just right now the market's starting to rip up. I want to pick my poison with Facebook instead of anything else, so we'll wait to see on a Facebook trade. We've been in and out of Facebook today, not super successful, but if we take down that 197.50, I think it's worth pushing here a little bit of love for FB.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I'm trying to focus on Tesla here because it looks like it's trying to make a break off that 725. I might grab a 27 long, but BABA is at 121, and I don't wonder if I shouldn't just be like, Pinduoduo is now at 66.50. Like, if you just took every single break on both of these stocks, like every dollar break has been more or less, pretty solid if you just sort of stick with it. So it's kind of hard to ignore them. 121 is putting a bit of a battle up. I know I like Tesla here, though, off this 725. And when we say the market's trying to go quickly here, like you did have, this is a 60-minute chart on the NASDAQ when I zoom in, just so you can see. Like, we have made a pretty convincing bottom there on the NASDAQ, and are now bouncing away from it. The same thing if I zoom in on the ES, just so you can see, like, we didn't get to 4,100, but that's a pretty convincing bottom, 4,105. And that's why it just feels like you got to hunt for some longs. And someone said in the chat, they're like, BABA is a short squeeze. I mean, if it is, it probably has a heck of a lot more to do with, look, intraday, or it's not a heavily shorted name. Right, like, its short interest is essentially non-existent, maybe a couple of points, but obviously what you see, the price action you're seeing happen doesn't happen every single day. Like, it's only a couple of points, so it's not your traditional style play, but it's no denying what's actually happening in that stock today. IMPP's make another leg down. It just broke VWAP. I'm going to get more. If it gets to 70, I'm probably all flat on IMPP, but I want to get into some Tesla here because this market goes. Tesla could get back to 735.
All right, so, positions I'll probably put on, a couple, all these positions will be like hundreds of shares, not thousands or anything at this time right now with only 20 minutes to go before the imbalances come out. But Amazon is like, should be shorted now. I'm nervous because this market's trying to break. Like, if you want to look at this market even on a higher time, it's this level right here. We were through this in the pre-market, right? So if we can get above, we're not too far away, like 12,670 on the NASDAQ. I only really look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is primarily all the state names that I trade. So I don't really look at the S&P, but the NASDAQ's just, again, like I've been looking at on the daily chart, like if you consider this all garbage here in this afternoon, if we can break above it right now, then it's off to the races. But this kind of looks exactly like Amazon, right? So, I really like this short against 122 for Amazon. But if you're going to take it now, like I said, you take it with even 200 or 300 shares, like if this market continues to go up, I believe Amazon will test up here somewhere near 122. And it's just like, is it worth the risk when you're going to have to be, we have to be flat at the end of every single day. So that's part of the game that Neil and I have to battle with every day. And like sometimes we see these runners like, whatever, any of those names today, even a PDD, any of these, BABA, like will BABA pull back 5%
I think it's
tomorrow?
turning.
Maybe.
Right
now, you think things are turning right now?
BABA just dropped like pretty heavily, and Pinduoduo put in the biggest red candle it had in a little bit here. So, look, I'm in Pinduoduo short
I don't like
because
the short though. Anyways,
you know what?
Pinduoduo different. BABA, I don't.
It's just been like BABA was stronger. Like Pinduoduo only broke out when BABA started going nuts, and it was really selling most of the day. And there were some good short opportunities there, so I'd much rather just sort of follow along. That way I can watch. Like if BABA reclaims 121 and Pinduoduo hasn't broken the high, I can probably get out without having to give this trade to the high of the day. So I'm taking Pinduoduo instead. QTT, by the way, that just put in a bit of a, I was saying how it was holding up. At the same time BABA turned, that QTT did get down to $2. So you are seeing it start to reverse here. A little bit of a pullback happening in some of these names. I mean, I'm going to back away from some of the longs to kind of look at. I mean, they were dragged. That's what I thought might drag the market up when you had that last little push there in Bob on some of these. So if they come back, and this could fall $1 pretty quick just because of the way that these went up. If it goes up that fast, understand that it can come down, obviously just as fast as it did. So with only about half an hour to go, there is time for this to extend into a bit of a bigger move. All that said, if we get to like 65.5, I'll take some out. We get to 65, I'll take some out. If we get a chance to get a little bit more in the 66.20 range, maybe like halfway to the high of the day, I will take that shot. But out of the corner of my eye, I'm just constantly watching Alibaba, because if that catches a bid again, we know what can happen.
Oh, man. I don't know. Like, now I'm debating the short here. Oh, new position alert. I did exactly what I said I wouldn't do. Hi, impulsive trader, remember? So here's Amazon right now. We did short it right here. So I did short a 37 print. We actually got a 22. So we took quickly out 15 cents on that. We want a lot more, but we told you we're already in scalping mode. But it's against this high right here. It's against this 21.70. So we're short 40s. Our out's going to be 70. That's only 30 cents. So we just took out like 10% for half of that. We got a 15-cent win. My other bids are down here at 121 to give us a clean 40 cents. I don't even want to get out. I just want to get out of some at 121. So I'm bidding down here another 20%, maybe even less than that. I'm going to up that a little bit down here to make sure we get that 1-to-1. And then if the market does crank lower, I don't have to worry because I'm not in Facebook and we're out of everything else. I mean, talk about getting out of everything else. AMD, that was a good out, man, because look where it went up to, right up to that 102.20 area where we would have got out anyways. So I think we did good by getting out of AMD. We saved ourselves about 20 or 30 pennies. Now let's see what we could do here on Amazon. Hopefully bring it down to the downside. What's up, Beep?
U.S. Silica Holdings, which is SLCA. I was just double checking on this one. This is a mining and metals company getting absolutely slaughtered right now on huge volume, guys, down 17%. Going to keep digging on SLCA.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, oh, by the way, I should show this chart too, because I actually might have more executions than Sean, but it was a little bit cheating because I traded this thing.
It doesn't.
I wish I didn't see this. I really, honestly, I wish I didn't see this stock today.
You have more excuses because of that.
No, well, yeah, there's just this IMTE just started dying like an absolute quail. And I saw the daily chart at like $4. I'm like, oh my goodness, even if it makes like a $1 or like $1.50 pullback or halts down a couple of times and makes the bounce. So I did try it, took 3 swings at it. One was a hit, but the other 2 were like big misses. So I gave back a bunch of the day on this stock, and it never recovered. And sometimes that's the case. Like they just die and then they barcode, and there is no dead cat bounce. Maybe there's one tomorrow, but yeah, that stock went absolutely crazy. So when I look over at SLCA that Brendan just called up there, sometimes catching a falling sword, you can get a great bounce. People call it a dead cat bounce. And other times, it just runs everybody over and then stops. And there's nothing to be had unless you were short the stock. I kind of wish I had stayed away from that one today. So, you always watch out. You want to know what's going on. B, don't always assume that it has to bounce. Stocks that go parabolic up, people take profit, and usually there's a pullback. But stocks that dump because there's news, they don't have to bounce, and you got to watch out for it. I keep watching Tesla thinking it's going to make a move to the upside, and it just won't do it, man. But PDD just got to 65.50, so hopefully we can get a pullback into 65 here. BABA just got through 120 again, so once again, it looks like these are moving. I don't know, maybe there's another Chinese listed name which is also moving we can be tracking here, but BABA and Pinduo Duo have been the focus for me this afternoon.
Yo, shout out to Ronell. What's up, Ronell? Nice to meet you as well. Glad that you found us, and now that you did, hopefully you'll never leave. If you're a trader, you like to trade some of these active names, we are here right now for you. So, yeah, thank you so much there. Wait, moving from the sun? Yeah, Canada's too cold? Nah, man, Canada's not cold. Those of you that live on the East Coast, come on, man.
I told you about yesterday.
Yeah, this is, Canada gets a huge bad rap. I mean, sure, Neil and I both live in igloos, but still.
I froze my butt off yesterday at soccer.
Yeah, well, yes, last night was cold. It was like 19 degrees or something. It felt cold. It wasn't
Felt
that
colder than that,
It did feel cold last night. But right now, look, let's do a check on the weather. 21 degrees Celsius and sunny right now. I know that's not super warm for June, but it ain't bad. It ain't bad.
Both at like 70. That's 70 for you guys. In the States, that's 70.
Yeah, 70, 71, 72. So it's not bad here. And it gets a hell of a lot warmer. We'll touch like 40 degrees Celsius in the summertime.
I gotta clear something up for the poll. Like when we,
What's the poll at?
I dropped like one lyric and someone asked if between Biggie and Pac, who I liked. So the poll is not who is the GOAT. We're not doing a GOAT poll. It's just between Pac and Biggie. So if people are like, why is Eminem not on the poll? Drake's the GOAT of all time. Like, it's not a GOAT poll. And that's one of the hardest things to, like, you know what?
Drake.
And first of all, that's ridiculous. And we love, look, Drake.
I can't believe that
all
one-
day,
I can't believe
Canada.
that was mentioned.
But I mean, him being in the GOAT. Eminem, sure, he belongs on that.
I mean,
Mount
Drake
Rushmore.
sings, right?
But it's a difficult call. Like, I don't think there's a right answer. This is not like who is the greatest NBA player of all time.
Maybe if we trash
That's
talk
easy.
Drake, we can get him on the show, which would be awesome. And we love Drake, but maybe we can, I saw him at the Scarborough. J. Cole is now playing for the Scarborough Canadian basketball team. So shout out to Mr. J. Cole.
Cook it, smile.
Dropped 0 points on his debut. So
Why you gotta do that, man?
just filling people in.
Dropped 0 points on his debut.
What? He did. He dropped 0 there. But that's fine.
He's no Master P. Master P will cross you over, step you back. He'll take you to the hole. Master P could play. Like that is
Master P got a tryout,
Yes.
I believe. I want to say
That
it was
is-
maybe even New Orleans. I know that's where they're from, but I almost want to say that's where it was. It could have been Charlotte, but Master P did have an NBA. He might have had an NBA tryout with Toronto. Actually, now
think
that
it was Toronto.
Now
And-
that I think about it,
legit. And Snoop too played well in high school, right? So there's only a few out there, but trust me, like legit, Master P will ball on you.
Master P got a Raptors tryout.
He
Yeah,
did.
that's
That's
right.
what it
That's
was,
right. Let me say for Master P right now. Okay, let's just go back to trading 334. I saw someone say that we have an imbalance coming out of roughly, and here's the imbalance locator right here. I'm just going to cancel that and get rid of NYSE ARCA. We don't need that on there. We just want to see NASDAQ and NYSE names, but as you can see here, the market timing is 9:30. So this is going to all blow up in approximately 15 minutes at 3:50 when all of the floor orders come from New York, and then the NASDAQ gets populated as well. So what we'll be looking at is market on close orders, and the numbers that we give. Someone said 143. Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris Fraser, Josiah, Pittman there, so on and so forth. Prince was a baller. Yeah, Prince. Hey, I love Prince, man. Don't say anything bad about Prince. Shout out to Minnesota.
Yeah,
Minnesota,
I mean,
stand up.
He's a legend
right now for
Also,
Prince.
one other thing. Someone just said like Kevin Hart.
Purple Rain.
Kevin Hart is not a rapper.
Kevin Hart?
Chocolate,
This guy?
Chocolate Droppa is a rapper, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Absolutely hilarious. But he rap battled Super Hot Fire in his alternate persona, but it's not Kevin Hart.
I think
It's
you rap battled Super Hot Fire, didn't you?
I would love. I'll tell you this right now. I would love to rap battle Super Hot Fire and lose.
The thing is, you know a lot of
and
lyrics.
just have
I'm not
him-
sure about your freestyle.
I can't freestyle.
Cannot.
And
Yeah, I cannot
You weren't.
either.
I don't know. Were you there the time we went to this? It was Casino-Rama. Marcus was there, and there was like a rap battle in the car on the way back.
Oh yeah, I was there. Yeah, but he thought he could rap battle. He was
Yeah.
pretty good. He was pretty funny.
I
That was
thought
funny.
I can't
That was
rap
funny.
battle.
That
I
was
can't battle
funny.
anybody, man. I'll
Shout
do
out.
someone else's lyrics. I can't make up
That's
stuff
the thing.
myself.
Like
but-
that's how creative some of those guys are. That's why I got to give shout outs to Eminem
It's
as
so
well.
respect. I have so much respect.
But I don't want to include Drake in the GOAT talk. Okay, I'm going to start banning people.
I
then.
don't-
You know
look,
what?
I think we all understand.
I got to start focusing here. Okay, QTT popping as well. So we'll go for that. Just a quick look on Amazon. Amazon almost took out our level. Now it came back in. So I mean, I don't want to be too hasty with getting out of this trade, but we almost got burned up there on Amazon. So where are we at 37? I'll put a bid here in the high 20s. It just touched 28 again down there and bounced. So if we can get a 28 bid, we'll take a little piece out. I feel stupid taking a dime on this. Everything else is down here at 121-ish flat. Because again, remember, it's 40 cents worth of risk. I'll take a 40-cent winner. It's even less than 40 cents. It's 33 cents worth of a risk to the upside. We almost got stopped out, but we didn't. We're using 121.70. So here it comes. Did I just get that, Phil? Yes, I did. 121.28. So I don't like it. I want more, but hey, profit is profit at this point, and we want to go. Yeah, Nas is greater than Eminem. Yeah, obviously, but Eminem and Nas are pretty close. So I don't want to get carried away there with that. Queensboro, stand up on that. But okay, we'll wait.
Don't forget the God MC. and that's Rakim.
Rakim. I was going to say Rakim, or there's a few guys in that era that's killer, man. But they don't have the advantage of the streaming and all that stuff. Like right now, you see like, Drake's album set records like downloaded by 150 million girls under the age of 15, and then all of a sudden he has the streaming record.
Look, man.
Yeah, I downloaded it too.
Go check out some Rakim lyrics. If you think there's a lyricist out there that's better than him, like so there's some greats. And Kendrick Lamar is absolutely he's a beast and he's legit. But I mean, everyone will tell you like the God MC himself, Rakim Allah. He's a
I love Kendrick Lamar, but there are tracks that you could skip. That's my only thing about Kendrick. I feel like I really like what he does. The quality is there. There's no doubt about it, but. I don't know. For me, Nas and Eminem are a little bit higher than that.
Come on, Tesla.
All right, yeah, Tesla's still motoring around.
I want this to break one level. Like, it's just barcoding here, and the market's creeping up, and we're running out of time for this to happen. Like, Pinduoduo, that's working. It might get to 65 as it pulls back, and Baba is continuing its pullback, so fair enough. But I'm just looking for one of these names. It's like a sleeping giant to maybe get going. I think you're in Amazon right now. I mean,
as if someone's name is Leroy Jenkins. That's great. But I do want to shout out Leroy Jenkins because you are right. We are forgetting about Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, some of his, as a lyricist, you guys pretty dangerous for sure. And a big, huge Green Bay Packer fan. So shout out to you, Lil Wayne.
I was in a random bar in Syracuse. It was for the Elite Eight, but was it Elite Eight?
I was there
forget
for
the
Elite.
reason
I don't think you were there for
No, it was
Elite
a different one. It was a different one. I was there for a buddy's bachelor party, and we're in
random bar. I was there.
It was a different one. It was Wayne's bachelor party.
Oh, Wayne's.
And so we're in Syracuse when oh my God,
Eminem was the fad.
When Lollipop dropped, like that was when that hit.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my.
Lil Wayne is.
These guys are now dropping the beats back behind us.
Club.
So that was just a banger. So look at when I talk about
Kendrick in my head.
When we talk about things breaking, look at the channel AMD is in right now. If this market tries to go, AMD is in a 30-cent channel. If we break out from here, like the risk to reward, like how do you?
This is why I was
the market
trading
goes.
it.
Like how do you not take this break? I'm looking at Tesla 730. How do I not try to take that break? But of course, nothing's actually going right now. We're just staying inside of the range here, which is why, like. I mean, Pinduoduo, I'm going to get out if it gets to 65. There's nothing else which is kind of going crazy right now that isn't one of those Chinese names.
Yeah, I mean, so we just took another piece out, and finally it came down a little bit to the 50 period there. We got 121.20s on Amazon. Hopefully it falls even further than that. We are waiting, like I mentioned, man, we're waiting in the teens, and then we're waiting below that in the 121.0s or so. So if Amazon wants to come back down in, we'll watch that. I love that trade there on AMD. That's why I had it. But just nervous about it blowing to the upside, which the futures don't really want to do right now. So
it almost doesn't matter which way it breaks. It's just got to break out.
Probably fine. Here's a firm. We are out of a firm now. Where's all my trades? Oh, there it is right there. So this is the short of a firm. It's come back in. Like I said, if we had more time in the day, I feel like a firm's at some decent levels right now. Anything below VWAP is great to short. Anywhere near VWAP, I mean, we are below it right now. So 23.50, I think, would be a good short here for AFRM. So that's a name to look at for sure as that comes on. Chris Cross will make
Someone just said jump.
Yeah,
hey, you know
Daddy
what?
Mac will make you.
Get to 1,000 and I'll drop Chris Cross. I'll drop a bar Chris Cross if you get us to 1,000 likes. That's 100%. That's when I know way back when. I got stories about that.
So I'm trying to rhyme.
Here
but
comes
they can't
AMD.
rhyme like this. All right, there goes Amazon out at 15 a little bit here on AMZN. So that's a good out right here. Let's just keep on watching this. I still feel like we can test lower. So damage not done, not fully out all of Amazon. We're not even out of half yet. So hopefully we get a 121 flat print. Let's go.
Yeah, and I'm on the bid right now, and I feel like I should be canceling, but I'm going to stick with it. Just to get out of Pinduoduo. Obviously, it's one of the stronger names. I'm now looking, if the market wants to make a leg down, I can get out of this, work into something breaking out of its range. When AMD breaks 102 to the downside, I want short. It breaks 102.30 to the upside, I want long. It's just out of that range I want out, and we're gonna cash in on the last of Pinduoduo. If you took Alibaba, just as good, right? But I just sort of felt like, yeah, you took the 120, that's going to work out for you as well. But I'm out of PDD now and close to getting into AMD if that can get out of its range. I'm looking at a couple of other things here. Answer, CG, did I used to turn my clothing backwards? In junior high, because that's how old I am, I had a Rockies, like, the black pinstripe, Colorado Rockies. I had that bad boy. I had the cameo. And yes, I occasionally turned it backwards. And you know what? Quite frankly, everybody did. So it is what it is.
I remember wearing the what are they, overalls, and you had the one strap off because that was gangster like that, you know? Like you had one strap on. Do overalls even exist anymore?
Nobody.
I don't, unless you're like
unless you actually
in the
work
industry. Yeah, like you're
like
a
work
contractor
on a farm or I don't know
something,
what else.
I don't know, but yeah, the backward shirts, man, stuff like that.
I almost choked right there.
Too stupid that actually.
Someone just said Neil had a goldfish in his glass shoes. I did not. But that is one of my all-time favorite movies, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. And if you've never seen I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, just make sure you add that to your list. If you like In Living Color, if you think the Wayans brothers are funny, like that movie is about 10 times better than any Wayans brothers movie out there.
It's better than White Chicks?
It's not even close. Trust me, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
I was able to see one of the Wayans, Damon, in Vegas, which was awesome. So yeah, we like that. I think In Living Color is the jam, obviously, where J-Lo was first found out. Jennifer
Fly Girls.
Lopez. By the way, like I don't, my wife might be watching this or not, but like Jennifer Lopez, like I start seeing some things like on TMZ. She still looks like she's 22 years old or something. Like these people ever age? I think she got divorced from A-Rod, or is she still there? The fake A-Rod.
Oh, Roger.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually don't know that. That's a good question.
I don't know. That's a good question. Okay, let's keep going there. Yeah, and I never saw. Look, I know Neil from grade school. I never did see you with a comb in your hair. Maybe your brother probably.
No. When I got to high school, the cameo was gone.
Right.
It was just like a grade 8 was the last year that I had it. When I got to high school, I started doing the whole,
Flame Boy, you get one guess if we've watched Breaking Bad or not, and we'll just leave it at that. Okay, so actively looking for new, this is old news, but Volkswagen actively looking to build new EV battery facilities in the U.S. I can't remember, was it VWGY, something like that, .pk? I'm missing something. We'll have Jeff Mendel in, by the way, tomorrow on that one. But Volkswagen, which reminds me, we must look at NIO. I didn't realize it didn't have any factories in the U.S., but I guess that makes sense there. But, okay, NIO today, a nice little move to the upside. It continues to go right now at day's high once again for NIO. This, again, would be a great short. We were, again, long early on NIO. Short was paid off a lot until eventually the long broke and we were able to get to the upside here. Let me just check. We are positive. NIO's one of my top stocks today, mainly because of that 20 break. It comes back in. We take 20 again against us. It breaks lower. We still hold it. Get it all out up here. Then we just started shorting. And I remember NIO now. We were shorting it like a madman off this 2025. So all of these, this is why I probably have, I can check how many trades I have on NIO alone. 100 fills, 116 fills right here on NIO. So just in a matter of about 30 minutes, I took 100 trades here on NIO. So that was good. I mean, again, very, very profitable, including scalping these 25s. Our best outs at 20 over and over again until we finally broke and we took an amazing 4-cent hit. So that was a good one for that. Amazon doesn't look like it wants to do anything. So that's the only position I have with only 5 minutes until the imbalances. And yes, Flame Boy, despite your Breaking Bad comment, I will show them. And the reason why we're not showing them now is because it doesn't matter. You still have 5 minutes until any of these get updated. So we will show them at 3:50.
So hopefully this will actually move, because this will be disappointing if we break the range on AMD and we go nowhere, which is possible. Look, it's not often I think that you'll find a stock do what AMD did today and then spend pretty much the greater part of power hour in a 30-cent range, which seems insane to me. But if we break down here and head back toward the lows, pick something. Look, the entire space has been weak today, starting with what happened with Intel and then some actual AMD specific news. We'll see if it works out, but I just felt like anything that broke out of a tight consolidation like this, it was going to be worth it. So we'll go with AMD. I'll scalp a little bit out here just to make sure we ring a little bit of register.
Amazon.
Partly because the imbalances are coming in 4 minutes, which that's a little faster than expected, but obviously we've had some fun here this afternoon.
Yeah, fun. I mean, this was one of our classic shows. But, join us every day. We're here every single day. So thanks to Brenda with that VWAGY. I knew it was obviously something like that. And you could see not much trading and, not much happening on the pink sheet side of things right now. So down up 0.72 on that name. Uh-oh, let's go. Siren alert, wake up, America. Here comes Amazon to the downside right now. Big trade alert for me anyways, as we still have more than half on, and we're taking down 121. So, whoops, we don't want to show that much of Amazon there. Here it is, the short rate in there. We had to hold it against us. Here's the big drop that we were looking for. It really sucks because Apple is also, it's good for you, you have AMD. But Apple, we got out of our short here, as now it's starting to print some of the areas that we hoped it would. And then AMD as well. And we love that AMD trade. Look, AMD, we identified this area. And like I said, normally right now we would be like, let's go push in on this AMD trade because we had this 102 top. But we're into Amazon. I like that trade. It broke the 50 period. So did the market coming back in right now. So let's go. But right now, Amazon, 30 cents in the money. I'm going to take one more piece out as my best out was right here. We just got I'll check my trade list quickly for you. Actually, it was only 06. So my best out was 06 for Amazon. So only 30 cents. But honestly, man, that's almost a whole range here this afternoon. This has been very range bound. 121.60 down to 120.80. So it's like an 80-cent range here. We have half of it in our blotter right now.
Yeah, and it looks like the market turning back to the downside. ES crossed 1% down. The NASDAQ holding at about 3/4. We're not at the lows, but we're getting a little bit closer to it. Only 2 minutes to the imbalances. I know the last look we got from Financial Juice, I think it's just over 100 million. To the sell side, yeah. So like very, very tiny sell imbalance at this point. We'll see what happens, but the first break was to the downside, so we'll just sort of go with that. I am going to, because it had this tight consolidation on AMD, like it's just one of those, throw the stop at the top of this range, 102.30, and then hold it through. If it comes out of buy imbalance, well, I'll probably get stopped out at 102.30. Which is fine. Like obviously, this is probably the last trade we'll have on for the day. I'm not going to trade futures or anything like that because I don't think we're going to get a large imbalance trade. But we broke downside. I would have taken it either direction that it broke. It just happened to be down.
Okay, all right, so we just got a fill on Amazon at 09, so that was good as it's coming back in. Where am I bidding? I'm bidding 03s here into what is going to be hopefully a decent sell-off here into the close as we definitely looking at that. Honestly, I'm bidding. I just got to make sure. Yeah, so I am bidding down here in the 80s. We'll see if we can get that fill down here at the bottom of the day. I mean, if we can call this, we'll be pretty pleased with ourselves. So come on, Amazon. Just give me one more fill, man, down here at 103. There it is. So we take that out at 03. So he scores right now. Colorado Avalanche discarding the Edmonton Oilers as well in 4 games. And then Tampa Bay, shout out to Tampa Bay. They're my team now as they got rid of the Leafs, and now they're back 2-2. With the New York Rangers. What a great series that's turning out to be. But here you go, Amazon. Nice little move down, 42 cents now in the money on this trade. So yeah, today's a good day for sure as it's starting to make a move to the downside with only 20 seconds left until the imbalances come out. I was bidding 80s. Let's just put another, let's mix it up. Let's put some in the mid 80s and some a lot lower than that into the 60s, just in case we flush on this imbalance, which is coming out right now. To stay with me here quickly, we'll see what happens. Watch out for the NASDAQ and watch out for the imbalances coming out now. There it is. So we'll see. Remember we saw DD with a big one, SRNE with a big sell there as well. Open door. Big sell. I don't see much else. Intel's actually with a buy. I feel like the market just ticked up a little bit there. Amazon definitely just moved up. Like, I can never win on this stuff. Like, Amazon moves up against me as if. But right now, that is what it is. It doesn't look like there's a whole heck of anything on here, Neil.
The open door did drop. Like, that 2.5 million sell, that dropped. It's only a $7 stock. So, when that moves like 10, 15 cents, that's actually a decent move. I'm going to assume SRNE probably did something similar. I mean, what I'm in, obviously AMD, whoops, cancel that stop order. That's way out there, so that's clearly a keystroke. But yeah, that didn't really do anything. Like, I saw the same thing as you. The initial spike was to the upside on AMD, and it came back into like 101.90, but it does look like it's still coming down. So I'll be on the bid, probably in front of this little peak here, like 101.40 or so, just to see if we can't get a late run at the end of the day. But I'll maintain, if it takes out 102.30, we'll just have to get out of it. That SRNE, well, they're both NASDAQ stocks. That's only a $2 stock, that's why. 3 million shares on a $2 stock, and it's got like a paired volume, which is pretty big as well. That did absolutely nothing, so nothing to see there. We saw DD one time, it was significant. Remember DD's imbalance was like 55 million when it moved it? So obviously, 3 million shares, it might look big as a number, but on a $2 stock, that is literally nothing. Kind of curious, what was that stock from the morning again?
OCFT. Okay, so I'm just bidding. I just keep getting out. Like now we only have like 30% of our trade left here on Amazon, which is fine. I mean, we've done really good on this one. Shorting into here, out into there. Let's just see. I mean, I'm still bidding in the 90s and the 80s and the 60s, hoping for a nice move down. And if that happens, then we're flat on this trade. We might as well just cancel our stop order. We already sort of know where we want to have this name. But again, I don't want to lose on this, so we're out of the majority of these. Let's just take another piece out right now. I hate to do this. Like, I just punched out some 06 there. Let's just see. Hopefully it comes back in and we're able to even get lower than that. So we'll punch out another piece. We're getting very, very flat on this now. We only have, unfortunately, now 20% left of this trade. So basically each one of these, and I had a little bit more than my normal position there. So, you know, out down here, we got out a lot at this 121. The market's basically not doing anything down here. So good move. We don't want to give this all back. I'm thinking now like 120, 130, basically where we're in. We'll just get out if it takes this out. Let's just get out if it takes out 40 again. So we'll give this one back to 40. If it goes, we'll get out. Then, therefore, we don't pay anything for this trade. It's a good one for me today. Amazon, another positive stock for me here.
Yeah, I just want to quickly do a visual demonstration on IMPP because I know a lot of people have this, and sometimes in a vacuum or when you have these trend trades, try not to make it too complicated. Look at where the stock broke out from. This is 65 cents back on the 31st. That's 65 cents today breaking out. There's 65 cents as support. So when it broke out, where do you think it went? Here's a high at 85 with a wick up to 89. So 85 body, wick high at 89. Today had a double top at 85 with a wick high to 88. And the second time when it failed, it dumped back into 75. So actually down to 72. So went even farther than that. Like, it's not that complicated. Everyone's looking at the same chart. That's a huge jailbreak. I wish I had seen IMPP at the open. I was watching some of the other ones. I think it was like INDO, HUSA, but IMPP made a huge break off a level like that, and it respected these. Once the selling starts, everyone looking at that chart that's long is saying, crap, I don't want this to be the failure. It's not going to 1, and they start dumping it as it gets lower. So always, when in doubt, zoom out, get a perspective of where the stock has been in the past because it can really help your trading.
I like that one and down zoom out. I don't know who that's from, but I know we
always said it around here. So
that's what I was wondering.
I stole that line. Yeah, I'll plagiarize that one all day.
We did steal that. It's a good one. That's why. We actually get right down there, and I don't know. Like I'm just too busy watching this Amazon trade. But we did get that 94 bid. We were just sitting there, let it run us down. You know, now we basically now have 15% or so left of our trade. So we'll see about it down here. I still do have some bids in the 80s for this name to come down in. So if that happens, good on that. We'll take that out with only 5 minutes to go. Let's do a quick little look at the imbalances one more time here. And this is what they are. You still have that SRNE as a sale to go and open as well. Let's see what open door is. Is this open? Is open door really $7 right now? That would make sense. I mean, the chart's not loading up, but wow, this name, yeah, this is open door. Wow, that's just been getting absolutely killed. Shout out to Chamath on this one as well. 25 down to 7. It was down to 5 at one point, so yuck. Looks like that Palantir, although I think Palantir's still 9 or 10 bucks. But yeah, nice little move downside for open door. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, here, it's going to load up.
It probably only gets worse as you go back.
Yeah, let's close this. We don't want to make people sad about that trade. But yeah, that's a nice little sell side move there. And on the daily, it looks like that. What does it look like on the minute chart? Just to see if this imbalance did anything at all to it. Yeah, there it is. So nice little move down for that on open door. So I don't know. Here comes Amazon right back up to the upside. It's been a good trade. We got to get some out here. Only 4 minutes to go.
Oh, I like this. None said Chamath is AKA Count Spacula.
I like that one.
That's a winner. Because it works both ways.
I mean, the market went this way. I'm not going to, like, these dudes are super smart guys. I mean, let's.
It was also, look, man, we were at the end of a huge bull rally where what the Fed did was pretty unprecedented. So it was pretty bad timing for there to be a big SPAC run. Ultimately, I'm just saying that to play both ends. But only 4 minutes to go here. I'm going to get out of AMD because now it's going sideways again. If we're not moving, you know, this market is probably not going to break out. I'll be flat, meaning no more trades likely for the end of the day here. There are a few names, I don't know if we're ready for it, but there are a few names on the earnings board, guys, that I'm sure a lot of you are interested in.
Definitely. It's finally the day we get NIO. This will come at some point overnight as the Chinese session gets going, is typically when they report, so don't expect it right away. But we'll have it in the morning anyways when we come back. Billy as well, guys. F-Cell, fuel cell, top right.
I see Vince Vaughn also reporting there in the bottom right, so that's nice. We'll see what he has to say about that. I love Vince Vaughn. Great actor, obviously lots of great movies there coming through for him. But NIO, so first of all, Amazon's coming back in. We take a piece out at 15. Look, I mean, NIO, it's hard to make a call on anything here. I've already said that NIO's been super strong over the last couple weeks, actually the last 2 weeks, from 14 up to 21. That's 50% move. So NIO's already moved 50% to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes to the downside. Remember, they had China's zero COVID policy. They still do. So I'm a little worried about China and what the sales numbers look like, but they just released their numbers and they were actually pretty good. So I'm worried about the guide, but then they're open, so maybe the guide is good. So I'm doing this on purpose. It's back and forth. Whenever you're trying to make calls before earnings, it's just, you could just look at the chart. It's been a very, very aggressive move. I feel like they're planning to beat, but if they don't, I mean, you could come all the way back in. It's a 50% move in 2 weeks from 14 up to 21. So I would look to fade that move. The best way to play this might just be on options. So I don't know. I'm not going to make any calls, but watch out. It's not a heavily shorted name. I just worry about the CCP on this name. Otherwise, I'd be a buyer of NIO.
Yeah, it's broken the 50 period. Everything about it says double bottom, wipe out double bottom at 13 and breaking above the 50. 10% down from that $20 mark would take you right to the 50 period moving average. So if it does do a 10% bounce to the downside, and you want to play that whole SSR type idea, if it goes SSR or resists it, you'd have the 50 period as support. 90 seconds to go, the market hanging on to the low of the day by an absolute thread. So hopefully LT Gray is going to be good luck here today, and maybe we won't break the low of the day to end. We didn't break it the other day, and we'll see if it happens again here today. But NIO wasn't the only name on that list, right? Remember, Billy, I think, should be pretty. Any one of these names is going to go. Pinduoduo and Baba, both of them were fantastic. It didn't matter what you traded. There's more fish out there in the sea. Not a heck of a lot moving at the end of the day here, but it is worth mentioning. Did Amazon break the low?
It's trying to. It's at 121 right now. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls. I'm just seeing this right now. 900 likes. I'm not even going to do the show anymore. We need to get this sub K here. Let's go to 1K at least on that. We're setting records, man. More viewers, more everybody. 4,500 people watching, 893 likes. Yesterday I did the same call and you guys stood up. We got to 1.2K. So hit that like button. And look, yesterday we had Tuesdays with Tony, right? We're going to have, everyone loved Raider Trader. He's going to be coming on Wednesdays. We have Daniel Shea coming tomorrow, Daniel Shea. We have Frank Caberna from Small Exchange coming through. We have guests out the wazoo. We have Jeff Mendel live in the building tomorrow as well coming through. There it is, 1.2K likes, 40% more likes in just a matter of time. Thank you, Bears vs. Bulls, for that one. And here it is, man. The countdown is on. We're still in some of our Amazon. Let's see how low this one can go with only 3, 2, and 1. There it is. Yes, sir. We talked about, that's a new shirt, right, Tony? Come over to the screen. Give a thumbs up if that's a new shirt. Oh, it's coming over here. Okay, he wants to come all the way. What's up? New shirt or not?
Yes, new shirt.
Yes, new shirt. I like that. Big ups. All right, congratulations to Tony. Yeah, enjoy everything, Tony. Tony's the man there. I thought that was a new shirt. That Unity, that Upstart, man, must be going to the upside.
You can afford more than a new shirt if you had 30 long. Because it went to $50, right? So
yeah. Tony's a very, very interesting gentleman.
Wardrobe,
we love Tony.
Baby.
Thank you so much for coming. Apple to handle lending itself for new Apple Pay Later program. Obviously, I mean, Apple already has Goldman Sachs in their back pocket for their credit card. So, I mean, any kind of news about buy now, pay later for Apple, that's not going to be a needle mover for that. But I just saw that come through right now. So, obviously, with WWDC, I think wraps up today, Brendan.
Yeah, if you're in the ecosystem, it's a little easier for them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Risk,
I mean, Apple's just going to keep getting their hands into everything. Apple as a service company deserves a higher multiple, and I can go keep talking about Apple, but whatever. I think it needs to be bought even at these levels. Brendan, how did we finish up?
Not good, guys. We'll show you, to the downside once again. 105 there for The S&P leading the way, 0.8 or 0.9 for the Dow, the NASDAQ 0.71. So we basically get back to day lows, essentially, other than crude oil continues to just go straight to the upside, 2.5%, 3.8 and 2.8 for Bitcoin and Ethereum, guys.
Better believe it. But also, don't try to compare us to the Mac. I can't even do it.
Yeah, it's too fast. We'll
You know, the one I wanted to do was POC, and I was about to drop it, and I was like halfway through, and I'm like, I can't say that, can't say that, can't say that. I'm gonna come up with a POC one that I can do for you guys tomorrow, because I don't want to do crisscross.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
More
do a
beats to come.
POC. You get us to 1,000 again tomorrow, and I'll find a clean one that I can say on POC, because
Cliffhanger.
I don't want to do this whole thing where all of a sudden you drop a curse word and we're not supposed to. So you know what it is. You know exactly the line I'm talking about, probably, if I'm thinking Tupac.
All right, I want to give a big thank you again. Thank you for everybody for watching, man. 1.3K likes. It's so huge for us. We're really, really happy about that one. And thank you to everybody for watching. Thanks to Bears vs. Bulls Media, man. Great job on the moderation there. Thank you to Tony. And hey, what's up, Tony? Tony's back there. Brad and Ian and Luca, as I look over at their desk. Do you have their double shot there? I was like to say, yep,
They're hard at work.
Hey, what's up, guys? As they gone already,
I know what Brad's doing.
There you go. But yeah, thank you to everybody. Lucas over there, Fahad stands there literally sits there all day to switch both these shows. So shout outs to Fahad for sure, man. Thank you so much for that one. Brendan, good luck tonight. He's going to a networking event, so that should be good.
Tony's coming too.
Tony's going.
Hence the new shirt.
Tony's going?
That's
Tony
why
is
Tony's
coming.
in the. I thought you knew that's why he's at the shirt. That's why I said enjoy, because he's going.
It's going to be good times, Sean. Good times.
No, that's great, yeah. All right, Tony's going. Okay, I wish I could go. I mean, honestly, unfortunately, I'm one of 3 coaches. The other 3 aren't available. The other 2 aren't available, and it's practice tonight for T-ball. So I have a great time there, Brendan. No sporting or any events for you there tonight, eh, Neil? I don't think.
Oh no, it's yesterday was soccer. Today's swimming. Tomorrow is gymnastics. So.
Yeah, I'm going to be running the T-ball practice all by my lonesome. No problem on that one for sure. I love...
Dress warm.
Oh, crap. I just got into Amazon because I had an order stuck there. I'll just get out of Amazon right now. But anyways, big trading at the end of the day there on AMZN. So we'll see how that fills out for us. But for everybody here at Trader TV Live, Neo earnings should be a great one. Have fun tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30. Ciao, guys.